Hello, everyone, and welcome to Random Number Generation, the randomizer show here on GDQ Hotfix about randomizers and the communities behind them. I'm Skybills, your host, and this is episode 106, Dark Souls Randomizer with the one, the only Lobos Jr. Before we get started here, we have a few announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick. GDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th through 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open. Visit GamesDoneQuick.com and check the AGDQ 2025 important dates section to learn more. UBAF is returning as GDQ's first Black charity event, Back to Black, which will be live February 7th through the 9th. Run submissions are open now till November 5th. Go to submissions.gamesdonequick.com for more info. And come join me because Games Done Quick is hiring. We're looking for an event programming lead that will be responsible for the 10,000-foot view of our mainline event schedules. If you're interested or know someone who is, go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs for more info. And with that being said, Lobos, how you doing? Welcome.
Hi, Sky. Thanks for having me. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well. I am really excited for some Dark Souls randos. So what kind of settings can we expect to see here tonight?
So I did the randomizer run of Dark Souls 1 on a hotfix a few weeks ago, but that was any percent without major skips, so just trying to get through the game as quickly as possible. With this, we're going to try and basically boss rush and hit as many bosses in the game as we can, possibly all of them in the allotted time. There's a whole lot that's just up in the air based on the RNG that we get, the weapons, what bosses show up. Some of it can be really, really tough to get through, but most of the time it's mostly doable. So hopefully we don't have too much bad luck. But I'll set up my character here, and if you have any questions, shoot.
Well, I was asking a little bit about the lore behind some of your names that you had in your main screen. We can talk about that a little bit later. This was just GDQ exclamation point. I love that. So what are some of the things you're going to be setting up here for someone who may have not seen a Dark Souls? Yes, there are folks out there who've never seen a Souls game, y'all. What are you doing right now exactly?
Well, the most important part, which is, I say very sarcastically, is randomizing our character's appearance, because that will, again, very sarcastically, determine our luck. It sets the tone, really. So, you can be a vast number of really, bright colors. I'm trying to see, and face shapes. We'll be a gold man. That's, gold for gold splits, going fast. But then the actual important thing is, this is the loadout for the characters. These are also randomized. So we get to pretty much pick from, 10 classes? We get to see what weapons have been randomized in. We've got like a rapier here. We've got a bastard sword, I think. That's a ghost blade, which we see a lot in chat. It's kind of a meme. This is a rapier. This is another ghost blade. There you go. The meme continues. A club, a barbed straight sword, morning star dagger, or a demon spear. Okay, now, none of these weapons in particular are very great for us, but I'm going to choose the club and the hunter class because it has a kind of better starting stats for us.
Sure.
So we're gonna have to hope that we find a good weapon pretty close to the beginning and then start working on that build to make it work throughout the run. But outside of that, I'm ready to go. So if you are ready with the timer, we can hit the start button in a 3, a 2, 1, go.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. Yeah. So this run, I'm just going to stay straight up, is very volatile. Sometimes I get a boss that spawns here. Yeah, there you go. He's not so bad.
like that one.
This is something that happens. One of them will just one-shot you outside of the gate. We're actually not even going to fight that boss for a long time. But he likes to cause issues early on. There are a couple of... So there's a lot of options when you go to randomize the game. One of the important ones that is important to note is that we don't randomize the key items because otherwise that could add an enormous amount of time having to check every single item for where to make progress through the game. So the key items are going to be in the same location. I know what my goals are, where I need to head. But the difficult part is finding a weapon that will quickly allow us to deal some damage, and then hoping that we also find some upgrade materials to make that weapon stronger and ultimately carry us through the run. One other thing is the starting boss here. The slime's in the way. The starting boss is kind of set to be an easier boss by default in the randomizer, so we don't have to deal with the hardest boss in the game with the absolute weakest damage or something like that. But other than that, we're just kind of running through here. We're going to get through the first boss, and then the hunt begins. The hunt begins. We're just collecting some items here. There's our heal, pretty important one. And then we're going to go see what it takes to get through to the boss over here. And I'm real excited to be on Random Number Generation, Sky. I am very interested to hear more about what kind of things you do on the show, or what kind of guests you've had.
Oh, well, I should start by telling you that my show is very cursed. The RNG that has happened on here across 106 episodes now is kind of wild. And that does not look like a very friendly creature, Lobos. Can you deal with that?
No, this is fine. Again, the randomizer will give us some easier bosses for starts.
All right.
And the gargoyles are, normally it's a duel fight, pretty close to the beginning of the game. So he's not so bad. He's going to take quite a few whacks here. But other than that, as long as we're careful, we'll get through it.
It doesn't look good. You're fighting like this armored gargoyle demon griffin, and you're using a club. I mean, I have faith in your gaming skills, but from like a practical point of view, this doesn't look like great odds for your character.
No, definitely. I mean, this is the kind of the joke of Dark Souls is they give you so many awesome weapons and armor and really cool things you can equip on your character, but then you go to watch a speedrun and it's just some naked dude with like a stick that's just making his way through the lands. This is totally an optional item, but I always grab it as like my good luck item. It wasn't anything particularly great today. It was some nice wide legs though, but we probably won't be wearing those.
Yeah, Chad's calling your character Cheeto.
Cheeto,
because it looks like a Cheeto.
Like mac and cheese. I do love that mac and cheese yellow color. And I don't know what this hat, I just, for some reason, just kind of autopilot left the hat on. That's fine. So now we are out in the open world after leaving basically the tutorial. And our first goal is to hit up some spots where there is a large density of items. And one of those places would be any merchant, because all of the merchant shops are randomized. So opening a merchant store will give us probably about, depending on the merchant, anywhere from 3 to 10, even more items to look through. So here's our first merchant. We have to talk to him a little bit, but we don't care about that. We just care about what he's selling. Dragon Scale, Emit Force, and a Catalyst. Okay, so that's not something I'm looking for. To really quickly kind of give an idea of what we are looking for, there are multiple ways to upgrade weapons in this game, and most weapons are considered normal weapons, and the normal weapons take a lot more effort to upgrade, so pretty much all of the normal weapons are out of the question. What we want to find are some special weapons, either a boss weapon, a dragon weapon. This guy's T-posing till we get close enough. Because they actually take a lot less upgrade materials to level up. Now, this is actually going to count as one of our mini bosses. He's normally a big undead dragon that hangs on the side of the cliff and is really cool. But a lot of these enemies will just try to chase us down this really skinny pathway, and they will fall to their death. So That's an easy one to take care of. Unless he can actually do it because he's amazing. Well, he hasn't fallen yet, but super worst case scenario, we can come back. Oh, rat is causing some issues.
It didn't even look like the rat was trying to attack you. The rat looks like it was looking for pets. Like, it just came up. It's like, can I have a pet? And you just whacked it with the glove.
There's a couple different rat types in this game. Like, they're AI, actually. Some of them will, like, kind of run away from you. Some of them will just... They can be very aggressive and constantly stun you, and that is not fun. But that one was a little passive, and I'll take that, even though I had to, I had to bash him because we had to get moving, but the run continues.
Oh, someone from your community wanted to know, ask about Lobos SFX. I assume you make funny noises during your run, and that's what that's referring to.
Oh, it's a lot more than that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I do a lot of fundraising for St. Jude, and one year we decided, okay, like, while I'm playing, and if people donated, like, I would get random kind of things that I have to do during the run. And one of them was Lobos SFX, where I would turn down all the sound effects in the game at that moment, and then I would just start trying to make the noises of the character running, and then attacking, like that kind of thing. But that escalated into me creating an entire mod where I replace every piece of audio in the game with my mouth sounds, like making the sound effects, making the music, the dialogue, every piece of audio in the game. And it's pretty cursed. And people kept asking me if I was going to use it for this run. I figured that would be a little hard to keep explaining over and over, but
I would love that sometime if you would like to. Not this time, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. That would be oh, come on. Ooh, he's being troublesome. These rats, I tell you. He's toxic. He is being toxic. That's why it says toxic. Oh, this is good. So the reason that I killed this rat in particular, he replaces an enemy in the game that's normally, it's like a passive enemy called a crystal lizard that it just tries to run away from you and then it'll disappear. But if you can manage to kill it, it'll drop you some upgrade materials. And that twinkling titanite that I just got is one of the special weapon upgrade materials. So that bodes well, I hope. If we can find a weapon that we use that for, then that would be great. But we're about to come up on one of the most important NPCs in the game, which is our blacksmith, one of the blacksmiths. And he usually has a good weapon selection for us to check, and potentially more. Upgrade materials, all sorts of things are randomized into the shop. So there can be consumable items that give us the currency we need. Who knows? But I'll quickly thumb through his inventory and try and... Oops, this tree is saying hello. So one of the things you can do in Dark Souls 1 in particular, is if you quickly save and quit, it will kind of reset the state of enemies. And so I'll probably be using that in a couple spots. I don't like to abuse it too much because it's more fun to try and actually conquer the enemies you're trying to get past. But in that case, it takes too much time, Okay, so I can buy the Soul of a Great Hero for 100 souls, and then I can pop it, and it will give us, I think, 30,000? 20,000.
So it's free money. Everybody loves free money. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Love that.
And sometimes we can find a boss soul in there, and there is a dupe glitch, which is one of the few glitches that I will use on a run like this, that you can infinitely use the boss soul to grant you money. And then you can level up and you can use whatever weapon you're trying to get. You can increase your survivability. But again, it's the kind of thing I don't like to abuse too much because you want there to be some challenge. Granted, there is plenty of challenge because with the nature of the randomizer, you sometimes have to do a double boss fight, which is potentially coming up soon. And boy, is it not balanced if it's not the ones that were in the base game. So for the time being, I'm going to run around. We're still going to be hitting up some areas where there's a high density of items. And this enemy that's shooting black orbs at me is probably one of the worst in the randomizer because they have a huge range and deal so much damage. But there's going to be 4 chests down here. I'm going to check out, see what kind of items we get.
So what do you want to see right now? Like, if you had your pick of items in this game, Lewis, what would you want to find?
The definitive speedrun weapon back in the day when I was really actively speedrunning the game is called the Black Knight Halberd, and it has amazing damage. It is a quick attacking weapon. That's one of those special weapons. It would upgrade with the Twinkling Titanite we found earlier. So something like that would really secure just the run. Oops. Gotta check this chest too. But there's a lot of weapons that kind of fall into that category. By a lot, I mean, I don't know, maybe like 8 or so, which might not sound like a lot. But, you know, it's fairly common for us to find something that's going to work really well. I know I have some people in the chat really rooting for us to not find anything great,
Well,
which is,
yeah.
honestly, it's a little more fun to, because sometimes problems arise in these runs where we have to get really creative with our solutions. And that sometimes might involve like weird skips or like just going all sorts of weird places to try and get a build going. And that's kind of the fun of the randomizer run, because really none of those are the same. Even if you get the same weapon, sometimes the bosses are just in a different, order that's going to cause some problems. We're going to try and join this guy's covenant because he becomes a vendor, and then we'll see if he sells us anything good. So far, I'm not sweating yet based on what we've found, but we have done quite a few good checks. Let's see. Okay, Lightning Spear is definitely better than our current weapon. So that'll kind of get us started. In this game, you can take normal weapons and you can infuse them and add things like fire damage or lightning in this case. And so there is a regular spear, but in the game somewhere, a lightning spear, you can find a lightning spear, which means it's been upgraded a bit and then converted to a lightning weapon. That's just how the upgrade system works. You have to upgrade it a bit, and then with the right materials, you can now add an element. And so lightning spear is going to be better than just a base weapon. So we'll see how that handles for now. At this point, if I had found a good weapon, I would have tried to do the double fight I was talking about earlier. But because I didn't find a great weapon, we're going to go down to the second boss that we would fight, which is just a solo fight. And that's more reliable for us to kill right now. Because,
your chat doesn't think much. Your chat doesn't think much of the spear right now.
What? Okay, but we're comparing to the club that I had. The club deals 87 damage. The lightning spear does 144 regular and 144 lightning damage. So give it a little credit, guys. Come on.
They called it a name that I'm not sure what it's referring to, but it's making me giggle.
The lightning spear is actually a popular choice for a first playthrough because you just find it in a chest, kind of, and it's Dark Souls. The Souls games have a bit of convoluted systems for leveling your weapons. So before you can really get a grasp on that, you just see the numbers on the lightning spear, and you're like, wow, that's a lot more damage than, whatever weapon I have now. So we're heading down into this horrible poison-filled swamp known as Blighttown, where many people, especially back when the game first came out on Xbox 360, the FPS would be about 10 FPS here. So it was painful. But not so bad these days.
Oh. Yeah, this is not a nice place, Livos.
No.
Why are we? Oh God, there's spiders down here. I don't like that.
There's lots of things. Well, these are randomized, but actually those spiders are normally here, so they're in their home habitat.
But no, your chat misses the club. I don't know if they're memeing or not, but they miss the club.
Yeah, I mean, club's fine. Club is fine. In newer games like Elden Ring, the club is actually really good, but the problem, again, is that it is a normal weapon, and to upgrade that is a lot more trouble. We need a lot more materials. Let's see what we get for this boss. Okay, we got the best luck. This is the easiest boss in the game.
Oh, nice.
Known as Pinwheel. And now I'm going to probably die to it so that everybody laughs, right? No, we shouldn't. But even the easiest boss in the game, pretty much, you can see we're not dealing a ton of damage. And it would have been even worse with the club. So...
Lucky you found that spear on the way here. And yeah, I'm seeing that element come into play here. Looks awesome.
So now we're done with that. And this is a really nice section because there's another boss we're going to find down here that most of the time we can get to just jump off of a cliff. Even the one that is normally there actually has a kind of a hidden method to beat it, where you run away from it, but you bait it so that it has to jump at you, and then it's hanging off the side of the cliff, and it's a whole interaction that people, I don't know, it's a really cool like Easter egg in the fight that just lets you insta-kill the boss.
This is very Dante's Inferno, by the way. I just wanted to say that while we're here. This is cool. Anyways, what were you saying?
I feel that. This place is called the Demon Ruins. So there's a lot of lava. And until we beat the boss in this next room, that lava will be there. But once we beat it, it'll drain the lava, and then we can actually pass through that area down there. So kind of cool. A little bit of Metroidvania aspect to Dark Souls in that you have to do certain things to get progress.
Chat's disappointed because you didn't ring the bell.
Oh, that's actually extremely important. So I was distracted. Thank you so much, chat, for telling me to ring the bell.
Yeah, this is one of my first times seeing Dark Souls 1. I've seen some Elden Ring, but not Dark Souls 1 so much, so I need chat to guide me through things like that. I have not, no. Like I said, there are people who haven't played or seen it all the way through.
No, for sure, and that's very good. Actually, so in an unfortunate kind of continuation of events, this boss is weak to lightning.
Okay.
So this lightning spear is doing extra good on him. He is normally part of a double fight, possibly the most notorious boss fight in the game, called Ornstein and Smo. And you have to fight them both at the same time, and it's really a kind of make it or break it moment for the player. Because if you make it past that, you're probably beating the game. But if you stop, you might not.
I don't know what it is with Souls games and stabbing bosses in the crotch, but, like, that's a thing. That's a pretty frequent thing.
Oh, yes. In fact, especially with the earlier games, a common tactic that I will spout all the time is just circle around, hit it in the butt. Because a lot of the AI will just miss you, and then you can just hit them from behind, and it's a really good way to just master their movesets. So anyways, I'm going to need to run back and hit that bell, so plus 2 minutes or so. But yeah, tell me a little bit about your show and what, I don't know, like how it started. How did you start doing this show, and what's your ultimate goal for random number generation?
I'm supposed to be the one interviewing you, but
no. I have 2 minutes to run back now. So.
No, we got a lot of time. I'm just giving you our time. So, we started this about 5 years ago or so now, and GDQ was in need of a show about randomizers because Hotfix was still relatively new back then. There was only like 1 or 2 shows up at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'll take this because I was playing a lot of randomizers at the time. So, I mean, it just started up that way, and because of folks watching and supporting this, we've been around for 5 years. So the more folks continue to support this, the more we can continue to have, goofy randomizers like this, where we have Cheeto folks running around.
Oh, yeah.
Without much clothes.
Poking bosses in the crotch, yeah.
I have a suggestion for the thumbnail if you're listening, Richard. We got to put like a little blur box around the Cheeto Man's butt. I feel like that would just be like chef's kiss on like the preview for this on YouTube. But yeah.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
We've had all sorts of, I think we've had Dark Souls on here at least one other time. But, you know, at the time,
Nice.
Link to the Past Rando was popular. Ocarina of Time was popular. But, like, as time went on, it's kind of expanded, right? Because the whole concept of randomizers, there's been so many more that have been added. And with even new games that come out, there's still newer randomizers. So, you know, for example, Breath of the Wild, you know, it doesn't have an in-game randomizer, but you can do, like, random objectives, and that's been done that way.
Right, yeah, totally. Yeah, randomizers really just, expand the amount of playtime, like, for a game so much. It extends the life, the duration, especially if, you know, you grind it the same game over and over, and it's just kind of like, what do I do next in this game? That's how I got into doing challenge runs of Dark Souls. Was, you know, I used to speedrun it, and I eventually nailed a time that I was very satisfied with, and it was kind of like, what's the next step for me with this game that I love to play, but it's the same game every time, and what could we do new with it? And so then the idea of challenge running, which is just removing the mechanics you use in the game, things like a shield or no healing or no rolling, so many things. That really is what has provided me with a home here on Twitch. And at this point, Dark Souls 1, I've probably done, I don't know, 70, 60 challenge runs, 80. We've got spreadsheets of all the runs, and they get ridiculous. Just the amount of different, you know, I forgot, we haven't done this boss yet. So we're going to do this boss. But yeah, that's my Dark Souls story.
Well, I've always known you for Souls, Lobos, but, you know, obviously you've been around for about as long as I have, if not a little longer. So what really got you into more of the full-time streaming scene? Like, what was the thing that really made you take off?
Definitely Dark Souls 1 was. Before that, I was speedrunning retro games. I did a lot of Link to the Past and Super Metroid and Mega Man X, and then just various, like, platformers and other things. But when I started doing Dark Souls, it was the kind of thing where I was doing these challenge runs, and many people, you know, it was a very kind of cult classic type of game that wasn't very popular, but it was very difficult. And I was doing these challenges, and people would look up on YouTube, for example, like, you know, how do you beat this boss? And then they would find my video that was like, I beat this boss, like, with my bare fist. And they're like, what? And then using that, they watch it and go, oh, that's how you beat this boss. Like, that's how you dodge these attacks. You go slowly, that sort of thing.
Oh, big dog. Big
dog,
cutie.
big dog.
Aww. I'm so sad to kill him, though. It's such a baby.
The worst part about this fight is when you're doing it, he won't do this on the randomizer, but in his home arena at about 10% or 15% health, he starts limping, and you have to finish him off. I know.
This is such a cute boss. Oh my gosh.
He's very cute. Look how fluffy.
He's such a floof. Oh, someone was saying something about, hang on, speaking of wolves, someone was asking about the Knights of the Wolf Pack.
That's a whole thing of generated music that's like involving memes from the channel. It's a whole crazy thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a phenomenon of itself. But really quickly, this is kind of the first real potential choke point of the game. It's this double fight, but I will say that having Sif here, our doggy, is very good luck. He's dead. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. He's gone. Don't worry. Don't think about it.
He's such a good boy, though.
He's very nice because he hurts the other bosses. Like, they're not designed to be in the same arena together. Also, this guy is bored, taking a walk. Okay, he's back. And so Sif, the doggy, will hit other enemies and deal a lot of damage to them, a lot of other bosses. So it's fortunate to get him, but also the same for this boss, which is the Demon Fire Sage. He did a lot of damage to Sif and managed to finish him off, which makes him really look like the bad guy, and it's true. It's true.
Here we go again with the butt and the crotch.
Yeah. Crotch and butt. That's going to be the
crotch and the butt.
Story of the run.
Oh, this one's got some fire cheeks over here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot of butt cheek on this boss.
This is a variation of the first boss that you fight in the game, the Asylum Demon.
Yeah.
And now he spams explosions and really annoying attacks. So you have to keep running away and then running back in so you don't get stomped or whatever.
No, Lobos didn't kill Sif. It was the demon. That's why Lobos has to kill this demon, because he killed the good boy.
It's true. Now it's a vengeance story.
That's right.
Oh. Okay, yeah. This whole fight takes place also on a precarious rooftop where one wrong roll and you roll off the edge. So it's a combination of a whole lot of bad things for a first fight. It can be the first fight in your game outside of the tutorial, and it can be very discouraging for new players. But it is pretty open game, so you can go a lot of different places and return later when you're stronger. All right, he's almost dead, but you can see it's taken a while to kill this boss. And because we have not found a proper weapon for this run.
Well, you're poking him in the butt with a spear over and over. I mean, that's going to take a little while, you know? Thanks for the butt emotes.
Oh, the butt emotes, yeah. Okay, so at this point, this is kind of a progress point in the game. We rang the bell in the Demon Ruins area. Thanks, chat, for catching that I had not, and we went back and did it. And this is going to be our second bell, which now opens our way to kind of the second third of the game. And at this point, things are a little nicer for us as far as the randomizer goes, because while there is a duel fight coming up, we get to check a lot more new items, and hopefully we get better weapon, more upgrade materials, that sort of thing. I'm going to see if this guy sells us anything good.
I don't think I'd want to beat up the wolf, though. That would make me feel so sad. That wolf is so cute. I can beat ugly-looking bosses, scary-looking bosses. You give me a little cute flooper like that, I'm like, no.
It's really cruel. It's cruel they make you do that, but yeah. There's reasons. So now we're running into basically a fun house. It's called Sen's Fortress, but everybody calls it Sen's Fun House. Filled with traps, swinging pendulums, boulders. Here's one trap, arrow traps, and all sorts of mean enemies. Of course, it is randomized, so it's not necessarily going to be the same ones. And again, we're just trying to keep an eye out for a good weapon and some upgrade materials that are going to expedite our trip through here. Don't do that.
Oh, that was good. That was very smooth. You're just like right behind.
Pushed them off.
Your movement's really good in this game. Like, I've been noticing that.
You.
Like, your movement is with a purpose, and you just really know where to get to the boss's weak points with, taking the minimum amount of damage. It's really impressive.
Thank you. I've been running this game speedrun or challenge run for, maybe 9-10 years now. When did it come out? 2012, I think.
Oh my gosh, has it been that long already?
I think so. And we've been trying to keep a running tally, but I think I have about 17,000 hours or so in this game, because it used to be just all I played, and so a lot of this I can just do on autopilot, luckily. But as you can see, with the me skipping ringing the bell, sometimes that autopilot misses a thing or two. 2011 it came out, but I didn't start playing it the moment it came out. A funny story is Demon Souls is a game that came out before this, and I tried to play Demon Souls at some point, and I played for like 2 hours, and I basically rage quit, and I was like, well, this is dumb. I'm not having fun.
Oh no.
And it wasn't until a couple of friends of mine sat me down and were like, you're gonna play Dark Souls and we're gonna watch. And I was like, okay. And so, yeah, big shout outs to the Fat Wizard and my friend Zespera, who basically determined the next decade of my life and my career. So it's kind of, yeah.
You say that kind of with some question marks and that.
I mean, no, it's more like a disbelief. Like,
yeah,
that was a big pivotal moment. At that time, I was actually working in the games industry. I worked for BioWare.
Oh, wow.
Under EA on Star Wars: The Old Republic, MMO, and I was a big WoW kid, so I knew a lot about MMOs, and yeah, I applied and got the job, and that's what I was doing. But streaming got big enough at some point that I was like, I'm going to take the plunge and try and go full time with it, and it worked. So here I am, however many years later.
I still get that. I still play World of Warcraft. I'm on Classic, actually.
Nice. I played Classic for a while. I didn't keep playing it because there was a certain magic that was lost for me. The magic of nobody knowing what they were doing. You know?
I get that. Yeah, it's only as fun as the people you're playing with. I would agree with that.
The people are fun, but, everybody knows how to kill all the bosses. They know go get all the world buffs and that sort of thing. And the fun of it for me was spending 8 hours in a raid, maybe killing one boss and clearing trash, and then and that was it for the night. But we just had fun all together. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed playing Classic, and I am trying here to get 30,000 souls, believe it or not, to buy one soul, because then we can infinitely dupe it for as many souls as we would like. And again, I don't want to really abuse it too hard, but I might get a weapon that requires a lot of strength, and then I will need quite a few levels just to use it. So I need 30K. I'm going to grab this key just because I'm here. Again, all the key items are in their normal locations, so that makes it very reliable just for getting through the game. The hard part is getting the build together, and hopefully you don't get a really, really nasty combo of enemies.
How would you feel about a randomizer that did randomize the key items? Is that just something you're not interested in?
No. I've done that all the time. This is specifically because I knew I'm running for an event, and I wanted the time to be consistent. But again, if you do random, the key item could be in the DLC, like if I'm trying to make progress, a key item could be tucked way in a corner that I might have to spend literally an hour to an hour and a half just looking for it, because there's so many items in the game. And the randomizer has logic. You can't get soft locked, but Dark Souls is so open that you can travel to so many locations just from the get-go. You could spend a lot of time looking for key items. So basically, instead of my, say, 2.5 to 3 hour estimate, oh my gosh, that was a lot of damage. It would be instead like a 2.5 hour to 7 hour estimate.
No, that makes sense. By the way, for folks who might not be following, I know a lot of you are, but for folks maybe listening in on YouTube or on Twitch here that are not following Lobos, please give Lobos a follow at twitch.tv/Lobos, LOBOSJR. All one word.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
This is another boss that is actually weak to lightning, so that's fortunate. But it is a later game boss, and so we need to be careful to not get hit. Interestingly, this boss doesn't deal too much damage if you're close to him, but he does have some magic attacks that we need to run away for. And the randomizer is, if you didn't guess already, it's not actually swapping the name. So this is not really an Iron Golem. They didn't just have a weird design for it or something. The enemy is actually a king of the boss fight, the 4 kings. Oh, there's the magic. I'm probably going to get tapped. Oh, nope, we're good. And for anybody who wants to get into Dark Souls Randomizer, there's a lot of settings to make a playthrough more or less, painful. Things like I mentioned before. I'm actually going to go back. I need to buy that soul item that I was making money for. But yeah, the mod's pretty darn easy to set up. And it's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of replay value to these games that we love so much. And really cool to set some speed goals for it.
So wait a second.
Your knowledge of the fights. Was that, sorry?
Now that I'm thinking about this, we had teams during Kaizo Coliseum that was called the Four Kings. Is that what this is referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what it's referring to, yes. There's a boss in here, because I think our team was mostly Souls streamers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. The Four Kings just seemed like it was kind of off the cuff. Okay, so I'm buying for 30,000 this soul item that will give us, I think, 12,000. However, as I mentioned before, we can do a duplicate glitch, which it's kind of funny. You basically go to use the item, and then you trick the game into using a different item, which, let me see here. Dark Souls has a queuing system, which is to say, if I'm going to roll and then I immediately want to do an attack, there's kind of a buffer period where I can hit the attack early and the game will go, oh, okay, we'll continue their attack. Well, the same goes for using an item. So if I am doing an action like parrying and then I use the item, but I pause the game at the same time, I know this is very technical, it will then afterwards open the dialogue for use the item. However, if I do that and then I use a different item from my inventory, it will now use the item from my inventory instead of the boss soul. But it still gives us the souls from this boss soul that I'm popping. Everybody follow that? It's going to be on the test. Just letting you know. For anybody who is intimately familiar with Dark Souls and how it works, and has come into my stream maybe and said, how do you do that dupe glitch? And that's how it works in the background, right? You're just tricking the game to using the Estus Flask in this case, instead of the Iron Golem core, but you get the effect of the core of an Iron Golem. So
okay,
cool.
If you can say, check him saying it's weird seeing professional Lobos. What do they mean by that, if you can talk about it on GDQ?
No, I can talk about it. I mean, when I do my normal stream, compared to a stream like this, I may be considerably more crass.
Oh yeah, same. And I
think,
yeah, I get that.
So that's all they mean by professional setting is I think I have a pretty good on and off switch for okay, we're being professional, we're explaining things, we're having a good time, enjoying the game, compared to, oh my gosh, that boss just hit me. How the heck did that happen? What a jerk. That
Except
sort of
not rated G like that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So.
No, I get that. Myself, Spike Vegeta, we all kind of have that switch here so we can be more professional. I get that. And then they'll turn on our streams and they're like, wait, you don't have that kind of potty mouth. I'm like, that's because I was working in my other job. Come on now.
My other job. Yeah. Suffice to say, doing challenge runs and speed runs, you come across a lot of frustrations, and they can manifest themselves very creatively sometimes. So, yes, it's
7 million swear words
out of line
after dying to rat. That's just called Clark Griswolding. We talk about that in my stream too. No, I mean, most of us are like that. I mean, you got to let it out somehow. Obviously, something like this, it's a showcase. We know when to be professional, It's kind of when we raise money for charity, when we do those charity events, got to do the same thing, Most streamers have to have a professional hat on at some point,
It's true. It's true. Okay, so we are now in, I wouldn't say the mid-game, but almost. This is one of the notorious areas in the game, though. It's called Anne Orlando.
Ooh.
There are a couple of spots that are just a pain in the butt to get through. And then the boss of this is that duel fight that I mentioned earlier with the guy with the hammer, Ornstein and Smo, and that's kind of where a lot of people might stop playing the game. You have to run along these barricades or these rafters.
That was great.
Yeah, just baited him off.
Bye.
So one thing, don't freak out production. I just switched it to 30 FPS. There's a reason for that. All right, back to 60 FPS. I am using the original PC version of the game called Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. And this version of the game ties some physics to the frame rate. And basically what that means for our run is that if we're trying to do a jump on 60 FPS, the gravity will take effect much faster and we can't jump as far. So there are a couple spots in the game. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
That one looked like it hurt, Lobos.
That happens. That one did hurt. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's only one though. That's only one. That's pretty good.
One
so
death.
far.
One death so far.
In 40 minutes, I would have taken about 100 by now plus. So you're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you. But in any case, so there are a couple of jumps I do in this run where I swap to 30 FPS just to do the run or the jump, and then we swap back to 60. So if it looks choppy at some point, that might be why.
Oh, see, I can't tell, but most of the games I run are 8 and 16 bit, so you know,
yeah, that's true.
I can't tell the difference, but that's just me.
What? So, yeah, I've asked before. That's the Iron Golem that was.
Oh, you just say that nonchalant. Oh, yeah. That's just an Iron Golem. Yeah.
That's a guy who we were supposed to fight, but instead there was, the king, one of the 4 kings. Yeah, and this guy coming up here that smashed us earlier is he's one of the final bosses of the game.
Oh, okay.
Gravelord Nito, but he's not too bad by himself. He's pretty slow and. I was trying to run past him, but I didn't have as much room as I expected, so he caught me with that overhead slam.
You sound like you're giving us a guided tour here.
Of course.
Oh yeah, and on your left here, here's one of the final bosses trying to knock us off the cliff.
Yeah. Dark Souls has these expansive areas, so there's a lot of kind of in between. Maybe not so dangerous areas where I can be talking about what we're experiencing or what we're about to experience. Like any game. Oh, that's a bone whale.
Oh.
That's one of the worst enemies in the game for a first playthrough as well.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's literally a wheel of spikes, and they'll just roll into you until you die. But we got lucky. I didn't even know he was there. So.
Yeah, that was kind of startling, especially given that you're on an incline at this point.
Yeah, very narrow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, see, now this is scarier than the bosses to me, okay? Like, the bosses, yeah, they kind of stink, but, like, being on a high platform and having an enemy, like, jump scare you, yeah, I don't like that. Especially
in the base game of this part, it's even scarier because you have these archers that are shooting massive great arrows at you, and if they hit you, they knock you back, like, 10 feet. And so while you're trying to navigate this little, narrow path, they're shooting. There's 2 of them, and they'll be just shooting at you, trying to knock you off. And yeah, it's a rough spot for first playthrough. And this is a dog, which you might say, oh, it's cute. But dogs in From Software games are some of the worst enemies. They're so fast. They attack fast.
Except for Big Wolf. Except for Big Wolf.
No, he's nice. Oh, I don't want to get cursed.
Oh, no.
We're okay. In this game, if you get cursed, it halves your health until you find an item to remove that, to fix it. Or a person. There's one person who can fix that as well. This is one of those, this is like a treasure trove. There's 4 chests down here. I didn't really get anything spectacular, but, I had to check. Here I am duplicating our travel back to our last checkpoint item, the Homeward Bone.
We have a question, by the way.
Sure.
Is someone from chat said Lovis has done tons of challenge runs, but what was your favorite challenge run? I feel like I'm being set up for something, but I want to know myself.
No. It's a tough answer, right? Because I've done so many challenge runs and it's hard to remember exactly. But one that always comes to mind is no healing and no bonfires. So no checkpoints in the game.
Ooh.
And what that means is once you get out of the tutorial, it kind of sets your respawn point to like the hub of the game.
Oh.
And that means if you die anywhere, including like here, which at this point is like, I don't know, probably a 7 to 8 minute run from the start point. You'll respawn all the way back here at the start point and have to run all the way back. So it was a very challenging run that had some kind of unusual challenges with it too. Wow, we are not getting anything.
Something about the ladle run.
That was in Dark Souls 2. There is a weapon that's the ladle, and it's very much a joke weapon. But we beat it with the ladle because why not? Here I'm duplicating the soul, and you can use the animation of using the soul to queue up another dupe. So we're just doing it back to back. And at this point, without a really good weapon, I'm going to need some extra levels. But I also want to buy this Firekeeper soul. It's got multiple purposes. The Titanite chunk I can buy, and we can reinforce our lightning spear. Now we can do it twice because I had 2 of those. I'm saying a lot of things, just thinking out loud. So
no, you're good. I don't want to interrupt your mode of thinking here.
No, it's good. It's good.
Apparently you played with a guitar, according to...
I did do that.
Nice.
Why is chat just... Well, I mean, whatever.
I'm just having a talk with chat. You know, they're letting me in on all your secrets.
They really are, aren't they? There's a program that somebody that was... they're a modder and also just a community member, Abject Sama. He made a program that will take audio frequencies and convert it to computer inputs. So it actually will just take the audio of me playing guitar in this case. And if I play an E, it knows the frequency and it will map that to a button on the keyboard, on controller, whatever. And so we mapped it and I played through Dark Souls 1 with the guitar. And not a beautiful song that I was playing or anything, but we made it through.
Oh, is this one of those bosses that makes it hard to see?
So that boss disappeared, and now she is invisible.
Oh, wonderful.
The other boss, however, is stuck, and that is good. She is slowly walking towards me, and she will probably eventually just hit me because I don't know where she is. But I'm baiting her over here so that I'll be safe from the big dragon, who will not mess with me unless I get close to him. So at this point now I'm just playing a guessing game, trying to assume where there we go.
Yep.
Where the invisible boss is. Okay. The trick to this fight in the real game is that she is standing on snow and you can see her footprints normally. Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So even though when she goes invisible, you can see her footprints and track her that way. But this has no snow, it has no water, so we just have to guess where she is, basically. Luckily, if you hit her a few times, she'll stagger and become visible again.
So I assume part of the randomness of this is that you can use your landscaping around you to help you out. And I feel like that's some of what's going on here, although it's hurting you too, because you don't have the snow to look at.
Yes, absolutely. In this arena in particular, there are pillars that are very helpful if the boss is using any sort of ranged attack. You can just step behind a pillar and then... Oh, I'm getting hit in weird spots here, but that's okay. This boss is usually either killed very quickly or skipped altogether. So I'm not super familiar with her moveset. But what happens with this fight normally is you kill one of the 2 bosses, and then the boss that you left alive gets supercharged. Well, in this case, now it's the final boss of the game, Gwen, Lord of Cinder. This is, okay.
Oh.
So this is the final boss, but...
Where did the gear come from?
Oopsies. So this is the way it works is it actually swaps in a third boss for the phase 2 of this fight. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm needing to think my strategy real quick. If I have a good shield, I would like to use that. I can use the pillars to block him a little bit, but he's very fast and will catch up to you very quickly. I'm looking to see, okay, do I have shields? And I would like a shield. That would help me very much. Okay, let's go now.
So why weren't you wearing armor before and now you do have armor?
When did I put on the armor?
Oh, right in the crotch again.
I don't remember. Yeah, right in the crotch. Absolutely. As you go through the game, like as I'm getting more endurance stat, it means I can wear more armor without becoming encumbered, which slows you down. And so just the more defense I can have, the better. So now I'm feeling comfortable with this because I have a decent shield. And the weakness to this boss is parrying. If you time a counter hit with your shield just right, you will actually kind of stagger them and you can get a hit on them.
Nice.
So we're having to do this a lot, but it's okay. We've got plenty of healing for this.
And I take it this is taking forever because your weapon is very far from optimal.
The weapon and the fact that it is the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But yeah. With a good weapon, he would probably die in 4 to 5 of these. But with a bad weapon now, it's about 15? I don't know. More? I'm adding in some extra hits here too.
So I take it there's only one of these bosses. Like you're not going to run into this boss again.
Oh, we can talk about how the randomizer works, which is that it is full random. It is not a shuffle. So we could find Gwen somewhere else. And sometimes we have runs where just by chance we see one particular boss all over the place. And we like to call those our oops all whatever boss it is. The first of which was actually I was doing a run and it was this boss, Gwen, everywhere. So oops all Gwens kind of became a meme. A la oops all berries.
That was really clean. Wow.
We made it.
Impressive.
Final boss down. Once you learn how to parry him, you can kind of just lock him like that forever. We did get a good ring here. Good ring. Increases health, stamina, and the amount of gear we can equip. So, very helpful to have. Still no weapon, though. Still no weapon. I'm going to level like we have a good weapon, though, and try and get more damage. Coming up is a large lady, and she is actually an illusion as part of the lore of the game. I don't have any way to kill her. Killing her is faster, so unfortunately I cannot. And we have to talk to her in order to get an item that will allow us to now fast travel. There we go. You may now warp between bonfires. Her name's Guinevere, and hold on, do I have something to kill her? Because it's actually going to be faster. I know, it seems cruel, but it actually is faster to access one of the optional bosses we have to fight later.
Chat says don't do it.
I'm going to do it, chat. It's just later. I'm going to do it later. Due to some lore reasons and the order in which we killed bosses, I can no longer use this is the initial bonfire in the game, because there's a firekeeper NPC that tends to the fire, and now she is dead because there's an NPC that will invade and kill her, actually. Or kill her, and then you have to seek vengeance in order to resurrect her. It's complicated, but in the randomizer, usually she dies, so we don't get to use that bonfire. Okay. Whew. What do you, you said this is one of the first times you've watched Dark Souls. What's your take on this so far?
It seems actually pretty cool. I tried Elden Ring at one time, and I played for a little while, but I felt like my hands were getting a little tired part of the way through it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not against trying it again, but maybe I should have started with this game instead of Elden Ring.
This one is, it's kind of, this one's overall easier. if you know both games, this one's much easier. The bosses are easier to beat. However, it is less like approachable. Like there's a lot of just kind of confusing things in the game, and you have to figure out how and where to go and that sort of thing. Elden Ring is more like, here's the hub, here's your weapon repair, here's your leveling, here's your everything. So in some ways it's easier, some ways it's harder. Whoops,
I also know not to play Dark Souls 2 unless I'm very curious. That's another thing I know.
Oh no. Well, okay, that is a very controversial statement for sure.
Let's just say some of the streamers that I've watched have very strong feelings against Dark Souls. Yeah, strong opinions.
I think everybody has strong opinions about Dark Souls 2, one way or the other. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, I have to jump into this hole past the snake that helps us. These games are crazy. But what I'm going to do is, from the blacksmith here, I can purchase a throwable item in order to kill the Lady Guinevere, which is faster. So, sorry, chat, but she has to die.
Chat did not like
speed.
that.
No, I bet they didn't. But here we go, some black fire bombs. But as I said, she's actually an illusion, and she's being conjured or channeled by an optional boss who we are killing as part of this run, since we're trying to kill as many bosses as we can. So Anorlando, you come here and it's all very sunny and lit and everything, but upon defeating this illusion, you anger the person that is channeling this. I know. She's an illusion.
This doesn't seem nice, Lobos.
She's an illusion, okay? Now the land is dark, and that's because the illusion is gone.
Oh, that seems like a bad idea. See, bad things happened.
For the run, I have to do it. I'm sorry. But yeah, that will give us quick access to one of the bosses.
Yeah, first the dog and now this.
Yeah.
I still feel worse about the dog, FYI.
Yeah.
At least you didn't kill the dog. The other boss technically killed the dog.
It's true. We can pin it on them.
Yep.
At this point in the game, we're traveling to where we would normally fight the dog, but it probably won't be. It could be the dog. So again, because it's not shuffled, we could see the dog's name is Sif. We could see Sif in multiple places and have to dispatch of them.
Oh, Sif is such a cutie. I don't even feel scared. It's this dog with this massive sword that could kill me, and I don't care. I just feel like, no, you're so cute. I love Sif. I want to find a plushie of Sif now. That's how cute I think Sif is.
That would be a very good plushie. They did do a nice big statue of Sif holding the sword in its arena. It's a very, very nice statue. I don't have it though. Okay, this is probably one of the longest times I've gone without having secured the weapon where I'm like, okay, we're good. But that's fine. This is randomizer in a nutshell. You gotta take what you're given, and eventually we'll find something that's gonna work well. So again, save and quit.
There's a Sif DLC interaction apparently.
There is.
Aww.
In the story, Sif's owner is named Artorias, and he's like a knight. And in the past, he fought against this is 100% lore accurate, just prefacing. Kind of sarcastically, but I think it's pretty accurate. He fought against the Abyss, which we'll see later when we get to the DLC. And he was taken by the Abyss and kind of corrupted. And so we fight him later, but his dog Sif, after he died, stayed and guarded his tombstone, Artorias, his owner's tombstone, for the rest of his days. And that's where you find Sif. That's where we're going next.
Wasn't there like an IRL story about that? About like a dog who wouldn't leave his owner or something like that?
No, don't. We're talking about video games, not real life. No.
But I'm saying there's like a story about that, though. Yes, there was like a dog who, because I think there was a Magic the Gathering card that also kind of referenced that story.
Oh, no. I know the story. It's like the Japanese
Yeah.
shop owner, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a sad story.
I mean, it's a sad story, but it's very cute what the dog
It is.
did.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
I love hearing
Anyways,
about good
we're gonna
dogs.
We're gonna go kill a demon now. Change the mood. I don't want to dwell on sad things.
Oh, I
during my
know.
Dark
It's
Souls
just
run.
such a heartwarming thing. Cats are better than dogs. Okay, I hear Lobos does have 2 cute cats.
I do have 2 cats. I like cats and dogs equally, I think.
Same.
But cats are low maintenance. So, and me being an indoor streamer man who's playing video games all day.
You ever have one of your cats like headbutt you while you're playing? Because they do that like when they want attention the few times they might.
Leo very much gets very cuddly. It's Sif!
No!
It's Sif in the normal arena!
With the
Why
scripting?
has this
No!
been conjured? No!
Oh,
No!
no!
I hope the interaction of the limping doesn't work.
Oh no! This dog's such a good boy.
We have to do it again. Just don't look. I don't know. Go to commercial or something. No, don't.
So cute.
From a gameplay perspective, also, this is kind of annoying because you have to stab it, and the legs are so skinny, so it's easy to miss. But, anyways, back to being sad about the
poor
doggy.
Sif.
I'm sorry, Sif. And he's guarding his master's tombstone here.
No! That's
Yep,
so sad.
yep.
No!
I know. Actually showed up.
This is so sad.
You did say that random number generation is a cursed show.
It is. I was not wrong about that.
Oh no. Please don't limp. I think because it's randomized, it's not hooked up the same, and he shouldn't limp.
That would be good.
Oh no, it's limping. No, don't look. Don't look.
Look.
Okay, it's done.
Oh, poor baby. That's so
Anyways,
sad.
So we have to come kill Sif, unfortunately, to get his master's ring, the Covenant of Artorias, which allows us to traverse the abyss later and fight the 4 kings. So, this is actually a key item location that I'm going to put it on right now just so I don't forget
The
later,
dog is just playing and we'll take a nap later.
You'll take a nap. It's fine.
Aww.
It's fine.
Chat, if you have a doggo next to you watching the show, let us know and give them plenty of pets.
Please pet doggos.
Please pet your doggies.
All right. So now it's kind of an extension of the any percent that I would normally do. Now we're doing some tasks for gaining access to the DLC of this game, which when it first came out, it was DLC back on like the Xbox 360, the PS3, but now the PC version just has it built in. So it's not really, it's still called the DLC for labeling purposes. But
Someone in chat, my dog is giving me a huge side eye right now.
oh no, it knows. It was watching.
Oh, you can pet cats too. Yeah, if you got a cat, give them some love, give them some pets.
My cat's hanging out here now, but he hangs out by my feet if I'm streaming. He doesn't want to bother me too much. Oh, okay.
What was
here's
that?
Another king. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
That's one of those kings. The king has replaced a mini boss here that we do need to kill.
All right.
For access to the DLC, so we have to kill them here. And for whatever reason, the bosses are in the randomizer. They have no audio when they spawn down here. Please come over here, King. King?
Your
King, you dropped
puppers
the
is
crown?
healing from her surgery today. She's getting all the pets. Yes, please give her all the pets. I hope she feels better soon.
Oh. Hello?
You remember buying the DLC and being like, how do I even start it? Now that sounds cursed. Imagine paying for something and you don't know how to start it. Like, oh my gosh.
I believe the only way they told you how to access the DLC was like on a website.
Oh no.
Like, for the product.
Yeah.
Or like some article they put out, and that was it. just had to figure it out.
Chat saying something about a butterfly, by the way.
I saw that, and I'll get it. It's still convenient for us after I finish my task.
Oh, definitely.
Here.
I'm just trying to do my due diligence
No,
so
definitely.
chat knows that they're heard.
Definitely. I'm just kind of more responding to the fact. I'm acknowledging that I saw that, and I'm going to do my best to handle it.
If you all want to see La Mulana, now that's my partner, Arthur Blues. He's a La Mulana expert.
Ooh,
he
nice.
loves La Mulana and La Mulana Rando.
That's actually one I have never played.
Oh, if you ever
Metroidvanias,
do, he will watch you play like every second of it. He loves that game.
Awesome.
He did like a whole I want to say YouTube series about like the lore of La Mulana or the timeline or something like that.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really know nothing about it. I've seen like some gameplay of it, but other than it being a Metroidvania, that's pretty much where my knowledge ends. So in order to access the DLC, we had to kill the boss, which is normally a multi-headed Hydra in the lake there. But it was one of the kings again. Keep count. That's 2 kings. We might find 4 across the playthrough. And then we have to rescue somebody, and this isn't going to make sense at all, but we kill this enemy who's normally a prison for an NPC. So she's just going to appear. Hello. We rescued you.
Wait, is this the person that you attacked in the other thing, or is this someone different?
No, this is somebody new.
Okay.
And this is part of that obscure way to access the DLC, which is...
they would. Now, I wonder if anyone ended up returning the DLC because they couldn't figure out what to do with it.
It's very possible.
I want a refund. I don't know how this works.
I mean, the internet was definitely around, so I'm sure they looked up game facts or something like that. 2011 wasn't all that long ago.
Does Lobos do any charity work? Actually, yeah, Lobos does a lot of stuff with, especially Play Live St. Jude. We're actually wearing the same hoodie right now because I got one too for doing the golf gala. But yeah,
very cool.
Lobos does a lot of charity stuff. Like again,
a lot of charity stuff.
Yeah, check him out right here. Give him a follow.
Well, thank you.
Oh yeah.
I've been fundraising for St. Jude Play Live for, I don't know, 7 years now or so. Before that, I raised money for Child's Play, who provide video games for kids in the hospital. We did Kaizo Coliseum, of course, for Direct Relief.
That was
Together,
both
that's
of us.
where I met Sky.
Yeah.
Oops. This is a little concerning. I want to make sure the enemies do not kill this NPC while I check her wares.
This rock is kind of running at you.
He's coming.
Okay, I got a little anxious for a second. I'm like,
yeah, a little anxious. Okay, now I need to go back and take care of a boss that I had passed up earlier. This should take us right to where we want to be. Yes. Now, one thing with the randomizer is the arena coming up is very skinny, and a lot of times we'll walk up to this boss, and whatever replaced it just falls off and dies. So freebie in most cases, but it could still be a boss that we need to fight. So
all right,
we'll see. We'll see. And like I said, there's a little bit of jank with this randomizer, and for the purposes of this run, the DLC basically doesn't work to be randomized. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Oh, there's that boss dying.
Oh, there we go. All right, free boss. We take those. We take those. Nice.
I did a lot of work. But just so the viewers know, the DLC we will be setting back to how it is in the base game because, well, I want to do all bosses, but also it makes sure it solidifies that we will see those harder DLC bosses, which means we'll have our build tested and that sort of thing. So there's several bosses that actually will not show up in the randomizer usually because they cause problems. But in this case, we will get to see the DLC bosses. Still looking for that weapon.
Yeah, you're just carrying the little thunder stick.
The little lightning spear. It's doing well, though. It does well enough. See, and everybody was bashing it, saying club is better.
They missed the club.
They do, I'm sure.
They missed whatever makes it more painful for you.
That is true. So as part of this run, and again, another reason why I really like these randomizer speedruns is as you are acquiring equipment or not acquiring equipment, you might need to check more or less item locations because, well, maybe you're not strong enough. So in this case, I'm killing an enemy that is normally like a mimic and a chest mimic, and he can drop an item, and hoping that, you know, we could get a weapon from him. Please give. Nope. It's a defensive ring and an upgrade material that we won't make use of, but that's fine. So it adds time, you know, as we have to keep checking locations. But so it's really, really, really fun when you start a run and you pretty much get everything you need right off the bat, and you just zoom through. And I set a PB recently for my any percent. Saved 14 minutes just because all the items were in the right place from the get-go, and just helped us to clear through the game real fast. So there's a lot of randomness in this run, that's for sure.
All right, so where are you trying to get to right now? What's the plan?
So now at this point in the game, you learn that you need to kill 4 lords and acquire their souls to access the final area of the game. So let's see, did we do one yet? No, this is going to be the first one that we head to. And this is a place called the Duke's Archives, which has a skip. The first skip we're going to do today, I guess, yeah. A famous skip called the Duke's Skip. And it skips a section of the game where you have a scripted death from the boss of the area, and then you get placed in prison, and you kind of have to jailbreak and then get out, and then you come back to the Duke's Archives, and then you take care of business. But we're going to do a trick that allows us to... It's just a simple jump. It's not the easiest to pull off, but it allows you to skip that whole prison sequence, which saves a lot of time. And then once we kill that boss, we will have one of the 4 key items needed to reach the end of the game. Additionally, right here, I think it's going to be this lizard. I'm going to save and quit real quick just to save my life, hopefully. Normally, oh gosh, that's messy. Oh, maybe not the best place to quit, but we'll run it back. So normally, again, to continue that convoluted DLC, path to the DLC, after you've saved that woman that we saved, now an enemy here that is just off in a random corner will drop a key item to access the DLC, but only after you've saved. Dusk is her name. And so you just kind of have to either stumble upon that or no. And then that will allow us to go back to where we saved her, and then there will be a portal to the DLC we can enter. So not the most straightforward DLC entrance, but now we know, and it's no big deal. I'm really going to need to clear out all these enemies to be safe. Hello. Sure, throw that spear.
Oh.
One of the difficulties, really, of doing a run in this is that the enemies aren't scaled at all. So if you find the final boss, like we did, as your second boss, he's got the exact same stats as you would experience it at the end of the game. So if you're underpowered, it's going to be a bit of a hassle to get through.
Are there settings you can adjust so that won't happen?
Yeah, for this one in particular, because there's different randomizers for all of the Souls games.
Yeah.
And yes, I believe for this one you can say, basically the earlier you find the boss, they're scaled appropriately for that area. So if it's a bit of a daunting, there we go, broken pendant is what we need. Which
nice.
Also doesn't really indicate it's a key item, it's just a broken pendant. But that's what you need to enter the DLC. And now, okay, that's a DLC enemy. That's formidable, but no problem. We're coming up on the Duke Skip here. Basically, this whole area is a twisting, massive archive of books, and there's an elevator and multiple levels here. But with a little nifty jump, and hopefully I can get this relatively quickly, we can skip. Even more complicated is there are multiple of these tall staircases, and you can rotate the staircases. So it's kind of a puzzle of figuring out which stairs to rotate. Here comes the skip if I pull it off. There we go. That was first try. And
nice.
If you do that, now you don't have to play their whole game of flipping staircases around and figuring out the path. So it saves a lot of time. And also you skip that whole prison sequence that I was describing before. We're back to Cheeto Man, all orange. I'm going to heal up here.
So why did you take all your armor off?
It's kind of superstition, but I tend to not do well at that skip unless I'm naked. And I think that's because... Well, okay, let me explain. Because if you're speed running, you are naked with a good weapon. Because when you know how to dodge, you don't need defense and you're faster and all that. So the time that I really grinded and practiced this skip was for the speed run. And so anytime I would do it, I would be naked. And I don't know why, but if I have clothes on and stuff, like I just tend to not nail the skip. So, but as you saw, I was naked and I got it first try.
Chat keeps calling him Cheeto Man.
Cheeto Man, yeah. I'm going to make sure I didn't by chance pick up a good weapon for... No, I didn't. Okay. We continue to look. Sometimes item pickups will pop up real quick and then I accidentally close them because I'm, trying to interact with something or this and that. So I wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything, and no, we didn't. We didn't. But regardless, as long as we can get where we need, we have survivability, which means we can kill any of the bosses. The only scary parts are any fights that are double fights. The Four Kings fight is a fight where basically one king will spawn in and you're fighting it. And then after a set amount of time, the second one will spawn in. And then the third. And then you can have four kings all up at the same time if you don't have good damage. So I'm a little worried about us getting there, even though we can go there much later. And we'll get a weapon by that point, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, surely.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any lore behind your name?
Me?
Yeah. So your sky bills?
Well, I picked the sky part from the lady from American Gladiators because I watched that show a lot growing up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I never watched too much American Gladiators, but I definitely remember it.
It's a fun show. I would recommend it. Most of the time, if I go to like a barcade, the one I like to frequent a couple hours away from me plays episodes of that in the background.
Oh,
it's
wow,
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Chad, I set you up for an airplane reference, okay? And then the second part, I like the Buffalo Bills, but I didn't want like an S on my name, so I put a Z there.
Okay, nice. You never know. Like my name. Oh, hold on. This is probably one of the tankiest bosses in the game, but he's replaced a different enemy that appeared. Okay, he just jumped off. That's good. Oh, and we get the souls for him. Oh, that's free money. It's free real estate. Okay. Anyways, yeah, my name's Lobos Jr. because I used to use Lobos as my handle, which is part of my real name. And like we were talking about earlier, I played World of Warcraft. And so when I made an alt, I named it Lobos Jr. And then that was the character that I ended up playing the most. And so I was more known as, oh boy, here we go. More known as Lobos Jr. Okay.
That didn't sound good.
Well, this is tied with one other boss as probably the hardest boss in the game in terms of it's just very healthy boss and very high damage. Look at this damage. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. But we got to do it. We got to do it. So
I can't even see how much damage you did. That's how tiny it is. It's
we'll make it through.
That meme of like the person with the two fingers, like it's tiny. Yeah, that's what it's.
Oh yeah. Of course.
It's so tiny.
Well, I'm. This would be a good time for some donations if we have them.
No, that was a few days ago.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Not much to say here. I mean,
Yeah, you're just going to over-reliable again for where you're attacking. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
pretty much. This is the benefit of doing a lot of low damage challenge runs is, well, sometimes you got to do them on the spot. Ooh. Ooh. Luckily, we have a bunch of levels, so if I get hit, it's like I won't. If we were lower level, a lot of these attacks could potentially one-shot us or two-shot us, but we're fine.
Chad's having a field day with this right now.
I bet they are. So I remember someone at the beginning of this run saying, "Oh, I hope he doesn't get a good weapon, so he has to do these long fights." And well,
it's their fault.
You got what you wished for. Yeah.
So, okay, so I get why you were naked back there. Why are you naked here?
It's just what I'm used to. Again, with the speed running and keeping low. Look, I'll show you here, okay? If I put on too many clothes,
you get slow, right?
Yeah, you get slower. And that means that your roll is you take more time to recover from your roll and that sort of thing. I have been leveling a little bit so I can wear some more clothes, and the spear's not too heavy, but I could take this shield off and add a bit more. But basically, I'm not going to get hit, so why would I?
Chad asked about the most impressive boss kill you've ever done. I mean, this is pretty impressive right now, if I'm being honest.
So if anybody's not familiar, there's games that when you beat it, you can go into a second playthrough, and they call it New Game Plus. And Dark Souls has that. You can go into multiple New Game Pluses, and the difficulty will continue all the way until NG plus 6 in most cases. Probably the most notorious boss kill I've done is New Game plus 7, Fist Only, Bloodborne, Ludwig, which is one of the favorite bosses out of the game that's very difficult. And I think it took me a total of like 22 hours or something to finally get the kill. Now I'm getting tail swiped by this guy, but anyways.
How do you pay attention to something like that for that long? I feel like, I don't know, if I did like an hour or two, I'd be like, I'm gonna take a break, but 22 hours, geez.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. Have a really empty brain at the time and just think about the movements of the boss, and that's all. The longest singular fight I've done, the final boss of this game, I killed Fist Only, which in this game you can't really enhance your fist damage, so you're doing like 2 and 3 damage. I killed the final boss of this game, and it took me, I think, an hour 20 minutes, hour 40 or so for the actual attempt, the winning attempt. And it's just a trial in patience and endurance. Whoops. Everybody's got their, like, I don't know, thing that they like to focus on. There's people that do 0-hit runs. I can't do those. I don't have the patience for 0-hit runs. But I do have the patience for fight the same fight for an hour until it dies. That's my unique patience, I guess. And you see, as we've been talking, he's down to like 5%. We weren't even thinking about it. I'm stubborn, sure. Chat says I'm stubborn.
That
makes
that's
sense,
relatable.
On first playthroughs, I'm definitely stubborn. If I'm fighting a boss and I'm dying to it a bunch, I'm like, nope, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to finish the fight. Oh, there we go. Even if I'm doing absolute trash damage. Calamite, could you have any issues with hitting the feet? He's almost there. Oh my. Oh, rolled with him. Come on, buddy. Bring your legs over here. Almost there. Excellent.
Wow.
Okay.
That was really impressive and very intense.
Thank you. Hopefully the worst fight of the run that we're going to have, right? Right, guys?
Right?
It won't get worse than that. The good news is we do get rewarded with a lot of leveling souls. And I keep leveling. Next up, we're going to... Okay. Yeah. We're going to take another detour from our normal any percent route and hit up one mini boss in particular. There is a small chance that entering the next area will crash the game. If that is the case, I'm simply going to unrandomize the game. I will kill the boss as normal, or I'll get down there to where we can see the boss, kill it, and then re-randomize. It's just the nature of the randomizer. You never know. Sometimes you could re-roll multiple times and it'll still crash. Just some of the jank we deal with.
Thanks for the heads up, just in case. I assume you save throughout, too, so it's not such a big deal.
Dark Souls saves whether you want it to or not. So even if you make a mistake, the game will remember. It will remember. It's constantly doing little auto saves on the save file, so we'll make it work, though. Let's see. So we're traversing right back down through our blight town, our swampy area. We're going to take a different path this time, though. In one of the most obscure areas of a game that I think I've ever played, because this game does have the rare hidden wall that if you attack it, it'll open up a doorway for you. And these two massive areas are behind two hidden walls that you could just never find. There are people that played Dark Souls for years and didn't know about this area's existence until, I guess it was common knowledge and shared across the internet, or, oh, hello. I did talk to this vendor to see if I could get a good weapon, and it's no weapon, only shields.
I see.
We're just continuing the cursed RNG of this rando run. Dark Souls will remember that, yes. All the mistakes you make. Okay. So what do you have coming up on random number generation for future shows?
I believe in 2 weeks we're going to be having Resident Evil rando, because again, we're right around Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Do you like playing scary games?
Me, I'm not typically into them, but I don't mind watching them. I don't mind watching them.
That's fair. Yeah. Playing and watching are definitely different experiences, and I do enjoy playing them, but sometimes I want to sit back and watch as well.
Yeah, in terms of playing stuff, I've been on a big TCG kick lately. So
of course.
I've been playing like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Game Boy Advance games, doing retro achievements for those. Nice. Been on like Magic, the Gathering drafting lately, even doing a TCG awesome. Card shop sim when I want to relax, which I saw you were doing.
Yes.
I've seen you do that.
I got to I think shop level 21 or 2, and then my schedule started filling up. So I haven't played it in a bit, but that great game.
It's a nice relaxing game.
Very relaxing, very chill. Kind of the opposite of Dark Souls, honestly, but this is oddly enough, this is a very comfortable game for me to play now. Randomizer can create some walls, some hurdles to cross. But for the most part, this is such a comfy, I can turn my brain off and autopilot through and enjoy just the mastery that I've spent in learning this game over the past decade. So that's Dark Souls for me. Do you have a game that is like your home game that is just absolute comfort for you?
To stream or not to stream? Because that's two different answers for me.
That's a good point. Well, what about both? Do you have one for both?
Well, when I'm not streaming, I play a lot of World of Warcraft. I'm in Classic Kata right now.
Yeah,
I do enjoy that. I do Magic Arena now a little bit on and off stream now, which is nice.
Nice.
Trying to think like in terms of like comfort stuff. I don't mind doing like the Shufflers Nintendo World Championship has kind of had that feel to it. That was the game I did at Direct Relief Done Quick last weekend.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have not just one game, but like a big variety. I mean, for you got the Souls franchise. I mean, there's so many to choose from for you to very much be in your comfort zone.
Yeah, some less comfortable than others. I won't mention which ones, though.
Chat was hinting at that earlier.
Yeah, and people do largely know me for Souls, but I just play all sorts of games, like from left field and what you would expect. MMOs, puzzle games, horror. Like, I just love all games. I don't know. That's my comfort zone, just playing games in general. Learning new games and all that.
What you're saying is your backlog is quite quite big.
I don't think I'll get through my backlog in my lifetime. Let's just say it.
Really?
Because I mean, more games just keep coming out too.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels like every week I'm like, oh, there's 3 more games to add to the. There's another. Yeah. So, but that's a good problem to have, I would think. Good problem to have. Okay, so now we're descending through an area called the Great Hollow, and it hasn't crashed yet, so we seem to be having some good luck there.
Is the screen shaking?
The screen is shaking because somewhere there's a big boy who's walking around. That's courtesy of Randomizer. It's probably... hold on. I hear him.
Yeah, I hear him
Where
too.
Is he? Can I see him? What is that?
That's a very big boy.
Oh, it's the Iron Golem. It's the Iron Golem that we saw before.
Oh, the one that you were so nonchalant about earlier.
Yes,
I see.
Yes, it's he again. He's not a very threatening boss, but he does. Oh, whoops. So luckily we can save and quit the game before we fall and die, and that will. I'm actually going to turn on again, like I said before. Toggle to 30 FPS so I can jump as far as I intend to.
Oh, now I see the 30 FPS. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I spotted it.
And in this game, it is the jumping can be a little annoying because it's the same button as sprint. It's just you hold down the button for like a second, and then your character will start sprinting. But in order to jump, you have to be sprinting. So to do the jump, you have to really quickly let go of the run button and then tap it again, and then hopefully your character jumps. And
hopefully.
So hopefully. But sometimes you just walk off. Sometimes you'll. Oh boy! Don't die, please. Okay. All right.
How much inventory do you have on you? I feel like you always have enough to restore your health.
Yeah. So I'm stuck here. Oh, this is also a thing that can happen because of the FPS. You can't get out. There we go. Okay, there we go. You have a replenishable heal, like Elden Ring or something, which by default, when you sit at a checkpoint, it gives you 5 heals. But in this game, there are also items called Humanity, and those are full heals, but they're harder to find. Luckily, in Randomizer, we find them pretty consistently. So I have 14 full heals extra. They don't replenish, but... Oh, this guy also shakes the screen, I think. Oh, so does this guy, I think. We got some big boys just blocking our way down here, but that's okay.
Yeah, multiple.
There's a lot of big things. And I don't like that bone dog. That's not a cute dog.
Yeah, no.
There's a boss. Okay, I don't know why there's a boss here. There's not even a boss normally.
Wait, really?
It's fine. Down here, there's not, but he got replaced by a boss enemy. That's fine. Again, just randomizer things.
There's not a boss normally like right here?
Nope. Normally it's a family of mushroom children and parents, actually. Oh my gosh, I don't know how this is going to work. I did not know this boss could be randomized in here, so this should be interesting.
That's kind of a big boss.
Yes. I don't think he even has... Can he step on us? I don't know if he has any damaging hits for his feet.
Oh my gosh.
This might just be a little... Can I damage him? Damage him?
Doesn't look like it.
I see blood coming off of him, but I can't see his health bar. His health bar would be way up top. So I'm gonna take about, because we have low damage anyways. Can I lock on and see your health, buddy? I just want to make sure I'm doing something and I don't sit here for 5 minutes not making progress. But I see blood. Oh, wait. Yeah, I see blood coming off. So that could be a good sign.
Yeah, I can't even tell if you're doing damage.
Yeah, this is one of those this has never happened before things.
Oh, you said the thing.
It's true.
The thing has been said.
If he's bleeding, he's taking damage. Surely. And if we don't have to worry about dot. Oh, Eric! Woo!
Okay, I don't know what just happened.
We won.
It didn't look like you were winning.
We won. We won. That's all that matters.
That was the thing.
That was the thing. Now we're gonna get out of here. And that was the mini boss that we came down here to kill. So great success there, and no crash. So they're very good. I thought about there's a couple more items to run around there and loot, but they're pretty out of the way, and the odds of them being weapons, like there's not very many clusters of items, so we would really just be running for individuals, and that's not worth, I think. So we're going to continue back to our any percent route, which is towards a required boss, the Bed of Chaos, which sounds like a fun time. What would you imagine a Bed of Chaos looks like? Do you think it would be fun to sleep on?
The Bed of Chaos, that's what Mitch's had the other night when he was doing...
oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because he made his bed. It was like one of the incentives, because he had a very messy
you were
bed.
Talking about that. I understand now. I understand. I thought you were saying he was doing a Dark Souls randomizer and he got Bed of Chaos somewhere or something.
No.
He actually had a bed,
he was doing Elden Ring, and one of the incentives was for a blindfolded boss, and then for the 45K for the marathon, he agreed to make his very messy bed behind him blindfolded. It was great.
That's a great incentive.
It was really good. And the funny thing is that it took him longer to make the bed than to defeat the Elden Ring boss blindfolded. You can't make that up.
Yeah, I think we know which one he practices more.
So there you go.
Mitch?
See, that's why I think of like a Bed of Chaos. Yeah, Mitch is, yeah.
Yeah, Mitch, yeah. I met Mitch for the first time at TwitchCon this year, actually.
Oh, very cool, very cool. But yeah, so hence the GDQ bed emote we have. Now every time I see that, that's what I'm going to think of, is when he made his bed blindfolded. Nice. It's good though. It helped raise more money for direct relief, so hey.
Absolutely.
It was great.
Okay, so we got a bit of a run. We're going back down to the Demon Ruins, or as you put it, the Dante's Inferno area.
Yeah, I don't like this spidery area though. I don't like that.
Yeah. The boss of this, you guessed correctly, is a half spider, half woman torso boss.
Oh, I've seen that boss. Yeah,
have you?
The boss isn't actually that scary. It's just if it actually looked like a spider, I wouldn't like it. That one doesn't really look like one per se.
That one's got a bit of a human element to it, right? So
it doesn't bother me as much. Because I remember Oth told me, he's like, is this going to scare you? And I'm like, no, it has a human element to it. It's fine.
Right, yeah. Are spiders one of your phobias?
I don't like spiders. The first time I saw Return of the King in theaters, which, yes, I'm that old, y'all. I'm sorry. I remember yelling really loud, no. I saw Shelob start to move the back.
Shelob, yeah. Okay, but we're out of the spider area. Yay. The funny thing is that normally there's a lot of enemies that are just playing an idle animation, but most of the enemies in the game don't have one, so you get a lot of T-posing random enemies with the randomizer, so it's a lot of fun. We call this the T-zone. Well, I'm calling it now. I don't think I've ever called it the T-zone before, but it sounds like a good name for it.
But yeah, this does remind me of Dante's Inferno, though. Oth was very much into Dante's Inferno, and when I thought of it, this is kind of like where you're walking into right now, like the different pouches full of fire and stuff. So,
I played that when it first came out, so I barely remember it, but I do remember it being a cool looking game.
Oh, I was talking about like the actual like book.
Oh, the book. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just relating it to the physical.
No, the book.
To
I actually never saw the game. Austin cared for the game
okay.
too much. I remember him telling me he thought. Because there wasn't enough like similarities to the book, and that's why he didn't like it.
I see. No, yeah, I think Dante's Inferno was a very like God of War style game, and I don't really remember how much it actually followed the book. Very loosely, I think. Okay.
Lobos is like, who reads anymore? I mean, it's true. I don't read much either, honestly. Not as grad school kind of broke me on that one.
I think when I was in school, too much forced reading kind of took away the enjoyment for me.
Same.
And so nowadays, it's like I need another interactive element to it. Give me something good, man. Somebody? Nobody? Oh gosh. I'm just touching
my
this,
God. All right, that was a little startling. Ooh.
I'm just going to touch this as a little checkpoint. You never know what kind of trouble you can run into down here.
By the way, your wave emote is still like one of the most adorable emotes I've ever seen. It's so cute.
It is the most used emote in my channel for sure.
Have you ever considered like getting a husky?
I have, absolutely. I know they take a lot of work.
They do.
That or at one point I was actually between a husky or a Malamute.
Oh, a few of my friends had Malamutes, and I got a chance to spend quite a bit of time with them. They are really smart. They are some of the smartest dogs I've ever seen.
Yeah, they need a lot of attention. Big, fluffy, just awesome dogs.
Yeah, it was one of my neighbor's dogs back when I lived in Buffalo, and every time like I'd come home, she started howling, and then she'd like get on her side so I could scratch her.
Oh, so cute.
I couldn't ignore her. I'd go over and give her pets. Dog was like taller than me though when she went to go like stand up.
Oh yeah.
She wanted to give me like this big hug, and she's like taller than me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't know your strength.
This is a boss that I'm sure chat is just absolutely sick of seeing. For whatever reason, well, for one reason, there are two versions of this boss in the game. This is the other counterpart to the guy with the big hammer in the duel fight I mentioned way at the beginning. It's normally a small version of this guy plus the guy with the big hammer. And then if you kill the hammer guy first, then this guy becomes supercharged, and this is the second phase. He's like a big version of him. And because there's two versions of him, we'll often see him all over the place in the randomizer.
It just dawned on me you still have the spear.
I still have the spear. That's why I just keep saying we're still looking. We're still looking. Still poking, yep. And this boss is resistant to lightning.
Oh, no. And you can't change elements? Like, it's one of those things where, you'd have to find another spear and then give it a different element.
Yeah, you can like undo and replace, but to do that, you need a particular key item, and you would also need materials, like fire type materials if you wanted to go fire or something similar. So that's why we really hope in these runs to get a special weapon, which doesn't need all of the extra upgrade shenanigans that a quote-unquote normal weapon would.
Is this an earlier boss?
This is around the midpoint in that big sunny city, Anne Orlando, that we were in earlier.
Yeah.
So this is about mid-boss, I would say. But it's... I'm making it look a lot easier than it is because a lot of his attacks you can stand directly in front of him and... Oops, not that one though. And he'll miss you. Like he's trying to grab me right now, but I'm not letting him do that.
But yeah, it looks like some folks in chat have huskies or malamutes or something like that. Aw.
Give them pets now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Descending deeper into the demon ruins. We have a boss coming up that normally it's a centipede demon. And it is immune to lava. And it is in an arena that is about 90% lava.
Oh, that's convenient.
And The trick to it, if you stand in lava, you take a lot of damage. You can survive for a second or two, but it will quickly kill you. And the trick to this fight is if you cut off his tail or his arm, or if you defeat him, he'll drop a ring that greatly reduces the damage you take when walking on lava. However, most bosses are not immune to lava, and so they just die like that gargoyle just did. That was the whole fight. That was all to preface.
That's it?
Most bosses will spawn in and be like, "Rawr, oh, they're not immune to lava, they're dead." Because they spawn in lava.
Oh, that's great for randomizer.
Yep. And now we can see a lot of other enemies that are spawned around that are not immune to lava. And it's kind of like Christmas, because they give you a bunch of souls as they die.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see it right
Use
here.
those to level up. Yeah. All right. I swear, we're going to get to the very last boss of this run, and either they are going to drop a weapon that I finally want to use, or like the enemy right before it is going to drop a weapon.
How are you not dropping like a rock? You were just walking barefoot through lava.
Like I said, that boss that died itself in the lava gave us a ring called the Orange Charred Ring, and that lets us walk on lava. That's how you actually traverse this area.
Oh, and you still
continue.
take a little bit of damage. It's just
Little
subtle.
bit, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Normally you would take like maybe 15% of your health per little tick, which it kills you very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got, now I'm sorry for the any eyes that have received damage in chat, as this area is very unkind to those with light sensitivity. Mm-hmm. No flashing or anything, but it's just that
it's very bright.
It is very bright.
Yeah.
A terrible day to have eyes, said someone.
Yeah, I can see that.
We're almost out. We're almost out of it. They did make it, they remastered Dark Souls 1 and they toned it down, luckily.
It used to be worse?
No. So this is the worst.
Oh, okay.
In the remastered version, it's better, but this is not the remastered version. So, yeah, unfortunately, we have to deal with it. Okay, so now we are entering territory that I have probably not had to enter in terms of, I am thinking now of items that I could loot that could give us a weapon this late in the run. And it may or may not be worth, it's always a kind of a toss-up. Do you want to take the time to look around this corner now?
Yeah.
And loot this item? Because it could be, it's pants.
What are we going to do with pants? What are we going to do with that? We don't need pants. We need a weapon.
It's true. I haven't been wearing pants this whole time, my character. That's why we got these Cheeto legs.
Cheeto legs.
Cheeto legs, just, let me see. Is there one more? Okay, there's a chest coming up. I will check the chest. Because, I don't know, I feel good about it for some reason. I'll also... Rat? Would you not? Rat. Rat's gonna cause some issues. Okay. In case we exploded, I didn't want to have to do that run all over again, so...
Yes, even chat's disappointed that it was pants.
True. She can drop something.
There was a run, I forget what it was, during DRDQ, and it was a pants versus no pants incentive for the character. It was just cosmetic, but we were joking around that it made the character faster. Right. And
oh, no, I get you.
Of course, that no pants one. I mean, that's what I would have picked, too.
Of course. Like I said at the very beginning of the run when we were creating our character, randomizing the face is not really important, but it is also very important to the run, Now I know never to make a macaroni and cheese Cheeto Man, because apparently they have horrible RNG when it comes to finding a good weapon.
Well, dang.
I usually like to make a blue character. You can make them a very vibrant blue. And that's all, Sanic, gotta go fast.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, here's the centipede demon. This is normally the Bed of Chaos boss fight, which is kind of a gimmicky fight where you have to go into those two bubbles and break a branch, and then that allows you to run a path to the middle of this big tree, and then you just tap it once and it dies. But instead of that, we get this centipede. So.
The centipede's terrifying.
It's a pretty creepy centipede, yeah. And you can cut his arm off, and he usually drops he'll drop the ring that lets you walk in the lava.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got some
that's
eyes.
That's kind of gross. All the moving parts underneath. Ooh.
Oh, those tendrils are actually not even part of him. But yeah, the way the randomizer has positioned this all, it's kind of cursed looking. But what else would you expect on
No.
number generation?
Definitely.
All right.
So this is the bed of chaos. Okay,
This whole tree and the orbs over there, it's kind of, like I said, it's a big gimmick fight. And then the floor starts to drop out, and it's one of the most frustrating, if not the most frustrating bosses in the game for most people, because the floor will drop out, you get insta-killed, and now you have to run 3 minutes back through all the lava to get back here, and maybe you just fall in the hole again. And keep trying, but that's Dark Souls 1. Okay,
one thing I've noticed about you're very calm when you fight these bosses. I don't know if that comes from experience or what, but you're very confident when you fight these bosses, I've noticed.
Well, like I said, I have a lot of time in this game, so their AI can change with the randomizer, but otherwise, the whole way of getting good at this game is understanding their patterns of attacks, like any other game, really. But it's like I have a whole tree of what moves they can use next, and the only luck part of it is like what they decide to use. But I'm ready to react to any of them.
Sorry, fool.
Oh, this guy's not happy about us.
Not be the
For lore reasons, that guy is very upset that we did not take his side. But we don't let him finish talking, so he'll never leave. If you talk to him all the way, he'll leave, and then whatever. He was salty. Oh, dog after dog. I'm sorry, these aren't. Oh, I'm gonna take my time and loot items here because more pants. That's all shit is pants.
We do not need any more pants, game. Come on now.
Stab in the butt, as you do. Get this guy out of here. I'm going to clear these enemies. A couple more items to loot around here. DLC enemy making things a little tricky. Gloves. We don't need gloves. There's a giant rat who's T-posing. More gloves. And then a katana, but that's a normal weapon. Oh my goodness. Impressive, really.
That's one of my... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say my pitch name for this episode is going to be finding too much of this in Dark Souls or these.
Too many pants, not enough weapons.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
I was just going to say, with our pace, considering the poor luck on the weapons, let me see. We're not even in 2 hours. So, I mean, I still think we could probably get almost all the bosses, if not all the bosses, especially if we find that weapon. I'm just going to keep saying that to manifest it, but we'll do our best here. All right. And we're on our way now to, I came out of order a little bit here. The third of 4 required bosses to reach the final area. The Bed of Chaos was our second one that we went and found. That guy dropped an item, and now I won't get it. What could it have been? It's fine. We'll move on. Pants? We don't need pants. That's what chat's saying, the name of the episode. We're going to skip a lot of this area by just dropping down through it, because you can. It's very nice. Thank you, game developers. Oops, that's too far. We bounced a little different. Thanks to our 60 FPS, but that's okay. It was my fault. I'll take full responsibility for that one. When you speedrun this game, or at least when I used to speedrun this game, it would... Actually, no, I would do 60 FPS and toggle 30 on for the jumps. So in some cases, I might try doing a skip that I'm used to doing on different frame rate, which can be different, but that's fine. Not a lot of time loss. All right, come on, weapon. A dress.
That's not... We can't destroy enemies with dresses and pants, all right, game? That doesn't help.
Funny enough, there is actually an armor of thorns in this game that when you roll into the enemy will kill them. Like, it will deal a small amount of damage. And I did a run that was all just rolling around in the armor.
So you did a Sonic run.
Yes, exactly. We were just a pin cushion rolling into the enemies. And
I'd love to see that. I may... Do you have that recorded somewhere?
I believe so.
That would be fun.
It would be from a long time ago. So, as I said, Chad is sick of this boss because, well, here he is again. So, another lightning-resistant boss with our spear. Here we go.
Nice camera angle, Lobos.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Nice camera there.
Oh, okay, he finally grabbed me. I don't know. Should I try to glitch this boss? I will let you decide.
Why not? This GDQ.
Okay, all
We're
right.
about glitches.
There's an out-of-bounds glitch that I use when I normally do this fight. Well, you can use. It's quite difficult to pull off. We're doing this live, though.
All right.
He has a grab attack, this one. And if he grabs while facing a wall, his animation will push him through the wall, and he might go out of bounds and die. So we're going to do this live, and I'm going to see if we can't just... I have no idea if this will work. Okay, but he didn't turn fast enough. It does require him to use the right attack, and then for us to be in a good position for it.
Gotcha.
Come over here, buddy. I need him to be basically next to the wall, and then he needs to try doing that grab. Here he goes. Let's see. Okay. He's probably not close enough to it, but you'll see when you're doing this, sometimes you get pushed out of bounds. Oh, okay. He almost clipped up. I'll give it one more grab attempt. Wait, I will give it one more beyond that because this is not a good spot. And then we'll move on and just keep killing him. Hello, would you like to grab me? Yes. Okay, let's see. See how I'm out of bounds here? As part of this, he might throw us out of bounds, actually. Oh. Okay.
So now what?
He's somewhere. That's a good question. Now what is a good question.
Now what?
Because a lot of times they'll get pushed out of bounds and then they can just walk off the top of the arena to their death.
Okay.
It does sound like he's still... Oh, he's back down. Okay, all right.
Oh, that was still really cool for what it's worth.
That was cool. I'm really surprised that happened. And that was fun to mess around with, but we'll get back to business. But yes, so basically you do that, and he walks into a wall, through it, and just falls to his death. So if that had killed him, it would have been a much, a good time save. So I tried for it, but unfortunately didn't pay off.
That was still really cool, though. I'm really glad you showed that off.
That was the glitch exposition for this fight. We'll call it that. Back to poking him with a stick. No, it's not a soft lock. In worst case, if he was out of range and we couldn't hit him, you can always save and quit, and that'll just put you at the beginning of the fight, and you can continue as normal.
Whee. Well, where we're going, we apparently don't need pants, and all we need is a stick for success. So
all we need is a stick.
That's right.
Oh, see, and now chat was very. Oh, I didn't even intend to get grabbed there.
Okay, so I would laugh if this worked, though. Can we just think, like, what if?
Oh, he did kind of.
I may have died laughing if that actually worked.
I would too. If I accidentally got grabbed and he was at like 2% health and then he died, that would be hilarious in its own way. But we're halfway through killing him. Chat, Chat was angry when we got the lightning spear, but if we had not gotten that lightning spear, we would still be using the club. And you don't want to see how much damage that club would do against these bosses. This is also the location of the pretty much the easiest boss in the game, which is the one we encountered earlier called Pinwheel, and would die in about, a couple hits. We could have had a much worse boss here, though. You can get those late game DLC bosses here, and it gets real messy real quick. He spams these attacks that just pushes you away, and so you gotta wait before we can deal our pitiful damage. Almost there. How many times am I gonna say that this run? Almost there. Oh. I thought he was gonna grab me, and I was ready for it. Almost. Okay, he's dead finally. Here's a glitch. If you open the menu, you can clip through this wall. Saved 1 second.
GG. That was, again, the patience that you have for this is astonishing.
Yeah, I will say again, the runs aren't normally this slow in terms of our damage, but that's the nature of the beast sometimes. We're on 30 FPS because I'm going to do a little jump skip. Whee! And this area is a bit troublesome on a first playthrough because it's quite literally pitch black unless you have a lantern or some sort of light source. But once you've run through this area a million times, it gets pretty easy to run through. And I'm thinking right now, at this point, I should probably not go for the next boss because ideally we will have more damage. And I also think this would probably be a good time for a break if we could take one.
Yeah, we can absolutely take a break. Yeah, so let us know when you want to pause so
Sure.
Richard can stop it.
Yeah, we can pause anytime now.
All right.
I'm going to take a bathroom break. We'll come back and we'll take a little stretch, We've been
Yeah.
here for 2 hours so far.
All right, so really quickly here, on behalf of GDQ, I do want to remind y'all your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays. And go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. Welcome back to Random Number Generation. I'm Skybills, and I'm joined here by Lobos Jr., and this is Dark Souls Randomizer with just a spear still. So hopefully let's find you a better weapon, Lobos. Are you ready to go?
Let's get right back into it. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Okay. So if you're maybe just joining us now, at this point in the game, we have killed a lot of the major bosses, and we still have not found a weapon that I would consider very good and viable for the run itself. That's a soul. That's good. That's Sif's soul. I found Sif's soul. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
We'll take care of it. We'll nurture it.
Poor doggy.
Oh, there's a vendor here. Okay, hold on. Come on.
Is it all pants?
No weapon.
It's all pants.
Are there pants?
No, probably not.
No pants. Helmets and chest pieces and gloves, but
No pants.
And no weapon, more importantly. But there is another merchant that we're going to head over to. Just for those tuning in, we have a lightning spear +2. And that has been our weapon for all of the runs so far. Hopefully, I like the look of this shiny. It's pants. It's pants.
It's more pants.
You can't write this.
Too many pants. You can't make that up.
You really can't. You really can't. Anytime there's more pants.
More pants.
Pants.
They're just everywhere. It's raining pants.
It's like the randomizer knows sometimes exactly what is going to happen. It's omniscient. I don't know. Okay. All right.
You need to. When are we getting a pants emote from you?
I don't know, but does anybody have a pants emote? Oh, there's one. There's an animated one too.
I think Adolf's got pants emote.
Oh, dear. All right. I'm having to extend my normal search radius considerably for this run in order to try and not find pants. Oh, this guy is not fun.
Chat is loving on the pants meme.
I bet they are. I bet they are. Okay. I'm saving and quitting. This resets the enemies so we can just interact with our merchant faster. Please, a weapon. A weapon. The club is there, mocking us.
It's
oh my
the club.
gosh. I cannot believe this run. This is absurd. You know what? This vendor can drop a weapon. Let's see. I'm sorry. He dropped the club. Oh. He gave us the club. I had to. There's more item checks.
That was
you saw how many
unhinged.
items we got. It's just the nature of the run.
Dang.
Oh, there's a small mushroom child.
Someone gives
this.
Lobos pants, and then that's what happens. Oh.
Fine. I had to try and see if we could get past him before he killed us, but
I think that
wasn't in the car.
was karma for beating up the store person.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I accept this.
So what happens now when you die? Like, out of curiosity, like, how far do you go back? Like, what's going on?
So you teleport to the last time that you rested at a bonfire.
Okay.
Which means I did all that and I hadn't rested at a bonfire. You drop a puddle on the ground that contains all of your souls, all of your money that you were carrying at the time. If you die again without reaching it, no. Sorry, I'm getting excited for a weapon, but there's no weapon still.
Were there
if you
pants?
Die again, there were pants. There actually were pants. Yes. Okay, there's some enemies. If I kill here, they can drop some things. This is vastly, like, out of the way at this point while I just desperately search for a weapon.
I mean, I'm having a good time. I don't know about chat, but this is the quest for pants.
It is. We have so many pants. I didn't even know there's this many pants in the game. So now I'm running around in the darkness, just hunting. Come on. Nope, it's a helmet, though.
Okay, all right.
Mask of the Mother. That actually does give us more health. So that's
cool.
fine.
All right. That's
that.
acceptable.
All right. Checking every little nook and cranny now.
Oh, someone said you passed Silver Tracer?
I got the Dark Silver Tracer, which you might think is a great weapon. It is a DLC weapon. It's okay, but it's mainly for doing nice, like, crit attacks. Like, I was critting the final boss we were fighting earlier. You can stagger him, and you do a crit. It's got a lot of nice crit damage, but for a normal weapon, it's not really what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Again, just kind of recounting what chat's talking about.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
No, yeah.
Oh!
I was just explaining so they would know. This is a mess, isn't it?
I see
there's a cat.
something over there.
There's a cat running there.
A cat. Okay.
Yep, it's a large forest cat. I'm gonna touch a bonfire over here for safety.
Look at you. That's a good idea.
There's lots of safety required in runs like this.
Oh, yes.
And now I'm just trying to think of nearby items. There are some items before we get to the boss. I'm actually going to choose to leave.
Okay.
And I'm going to, because again, I could continue to this final boss here, but without a really good weapon, depending on our luck, it could be a really tough fight. And that would definitely be a waste of time. But I can go search some kind of easier boss locations while also finding items along the way. I do not like this bone dog.
No, those are
vicious.
not good dogs.
They will kill you very quickly. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah. So now I'm just on the fly trying to think of big chunks of items. There's a good chunk of items down here. Luckily, I have also a lot of just regular randomizer experience, not necessarily speed running. A funny thing is I didn't know that this item existed here for probably the first 7 or 8 years I played the game. And then one day I just found this little doorway and I was like, what? Okay, I'll use that weapon.
The Black Knight sword?
The Black Knight sword. Pretty much all the Black Knight weapons are decent enough The best of which being, you asked me at the beginning, the Black Knight Halberd is a fantastic, amazing weapon, and we can make this work. And I think I have stats for it. I do. So I'm going to go upgrade this a little bit because I think I have a couple of upgrade materials for this. But I need to head to our blacksmith, and the run may be finally a go. 2 hours and 9 minutes in. we made it work with the pokey stick.
You did.
Fine. We did our best.
Someone said we could have had that sword the whole time.
We could have. I mean, you could say that about anything.
I was going to say, that's like a randomizer thing. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't think like that in a randomizer. You just have to go.
Hey,
you have to go.
Lobos is making some good content, y'all.
That's right. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of things that have never happened in this run on this stream. The big tall guy in the Ash Lake area, that was mind-boggling.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We've got this weapon upgraded. The cool thing about these special weapons is they only have to be upgraded to +5. That's their maximum. Whereas a normal weapon, +15 is their maximum. But that means getting a weapon to +3, which we just did, is a lot stronger than a +3 normal weapon. They have such a convoluted upgrade mechanic system in this. But now I will try tackling the boss that is down here, and we'll see how bad it is. Again, we're running through this completely pitch black area, but once you've done this a few times, you know, you follow the walls. It helps if you have the normal enemies because they kind of help guide you, but it's not so much of a problem. You use the terrain just to know where you're going, where you need to jump, where you need to roll past. And there's also one or two little kind of skipped jumps. Let's see. There we go. Skip up here. Hop down over here. And we're out of the pitch black. So rest easy. I believe I purchased the single twinkling titanite that Dusk sold. I could be wrong about that. So what I'm going to focus on is killing the main bosses. This is the last, other than the final boss, this is the last. This guy was just sleeping. Last main boss of the game to kill, and then we could access the final boss. But before that, I'm going to go to the DLC, and we're going to... What? Why is it solid? It shouldn't be solid. Those little sprites are... Normally, you just walk right through them. Hello? That T-teleport. Help.
Well, that got out of hand rather quickly.
Yeah. There's a kind of weird thing where it teleports enemies around here, but it makes sense because they're like enemies that burrow. But when it's randomizer, they just instantly teleport, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But we're through it, and now we're about to the boss of this area. Hello. And I'm hoping we don't get a terrible boss for this. This boss normally, and it still does in this version, has about 5 or 6 skeletons in the fight that will never die. They'll fall down, they'll die. Oh, this is the hardest boss in the game. If I could get out of this corner. I can't get out of this corner. I'm dead. There's no way I can survive that. Well, now we know who it is.
Yeah, that'll help you prepare for it better.
It is. Because normally you fall down here, you have to take like half of your health's worth of damage. There's ways to avoid it, but in most cases you just have to. And so the optimal thing would be just heal up, get ready. But that guy's so fast, he was already in my face, and he just unlocked me in a corner. So we're going to go to the DLC, which is where you actually normally fight that boss. And we're going to clear the bosses that are normally there. Again, so many things you just do on the fly on a randomizer run sometimes, especially with the all bosses. Now, I mentioned this a while back, but people may have forgot or they may have not been here. For the DLC, the randomizer crashes just terribly. So we are going to be setting the DLC to the base game settings. We're going to restore the enemies that are there normally. And we're going to do the DLC with all the normal enemies. That's just the only thing available for us. But it also means that we're going to have to fight those DLC bosses, like the Manus we just saw there. We'll have to fight him normally. So we'll fight Artorias. Artorias actually cannot be placed anywhere in the randomizer because he causes crashing. So we otherwise would not be able to fight him, but now we get to fight him. So I'm going to reach the DLC. I'm going to unrandomize. We're going to go back to base game spawns. Clear the DLC, then we'll reapply the randomizer and go through like that. Just so you guys know what's happening.
That's really cool that you can do that. A lot of randomizers don't provide that, really.
Yeah. So this one provides you with a seed, and I used a typed-in seed. I think I called it like GDQ RNG 2024 or something like that. And it uses that keyword as our seed for our randomizer. So we can just plop that back in and get it back to whatever. Are there twinklies in the DLC? There could be. This weapon is +3. We would only need... I guess we would need 7 total, I think, of this upgrade material to max it out. Which would be helpful, but honestly, a +3 Black Knight sword that's sufficient to get us through. Especially if we were using the spear up to this point. Now I bet we're going to start seeing a plethora of items, of weapons that would help us get through. Oh, right, I forgot about that. That's a that's a 60 FPS thing.
I see.
But now we're good. So I'm going to touch here. I'm going to unrandomize the game now, which I will have to close the game down quickly. That's the OBS. This is the randomizer, and we're going to revert to normal. Boo-doo-doo. All done. Launch the game again. Now I go through the DLC as normal. So.
Oh, can you restream that to my end too again?
Oh, yeah. Did it cancel that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see real quick. Oops. Where's oh gosh, I have too many Discord servers.
Oh, I feel that.
GDQ. How is it not there? It's got to be near the top. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
Share. I know how Discord works. Share screen. Stream Dark Souls Remastered. There we go. Okay.
All right,
can you
cool.
see it?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. Sorry, I forgot that was going to happen. Okay. Now it's a little comfy because I know all the bosses coming up. We've got our weapon now. I get to breathe a little easy compared to the rest of the run where we were running around looking for whatever we could find. But yeah, this is the Sanctuary Guardian. It's very fast, agile, lightning chimera, or manticore rather, I believe. And he really likes spewing lightning right now. That's a lot of it. Hello? Okay. All right. This is fine. Okay. But now you can see our weapon's dealing a lot of damage, especially for an enemy that's supposed to be very late game. Now we're just taking him out in like, I don't know, 9 hits, something like that. Oh, one more. Okay. Get him. All right. Yahoo! The items are still randomized, of course, so we'll still be getting random stuff. But that's the first boss, and there are 4 bosses in the DLC. Some big areas that we're going to have to run through, and a little bit of key gathering for progression through here. But that should be relatively straightforward. Boom. I don't think we'll have time because of that spear, but there's actually a double fight, and it's an optional fight with that same boss times 2 if you come back here later and go to his arena. I was going to include that as a mini boss as part of this boss rush. And if there's time at the end, maybe I will. But we'll have to see how it goes. Because we're at 2:19 now. This DLC is probably a 15-minute venture. And then there's cleaning up all the rest of the optional bosses. But other than that, even considering the spear that we got, I think we've done pretty good, killing as many bosses as we have. I am... Okay, wait. Oh, I got turned around. I need to go this way. I see where I'm at. Okay. Ugh. So, Sky, what... I know you do, like, retro stuff. Like, do you have a favorite game to speedrun?
That's tough. Throughout the years, I've really enjoyed running a multitude of games. If you're talking about right now, the NES World Championship's probably one of my favorites just because it's not just one game, it's a variety of games.
Yeah. Are there particular routes for that? Like, I guess they do individual level, but also, like, maybe just Mario or just the Zelda?
Oh, yeah. There's like individual games for that, but I like speedrunning, the whole speedrun mode.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice. I need to pick that up. I haven't grabbed that yet.
Oh, it's so much fun. You would enjoy it.
I played it at Kaizo, so I got a little bit of a taste.
I wouldn't mind picking up Castlevania 3 again at some point.
Ooh. I never actually beat it, but I did play it a bunch, and
it's so good.
I jam the music all the time.
Oh, yeah. So that one's definitely up there for me as well.
Hey, some more Twinkling Titanite. That's what we need to upgrade this weapon.
I also fell into the challenge run thing like you did, and I did Ironmon for like a solid year and a half before burning out on it.
I haven't done an Ironmon, but I did do, let's see, I did, what's Kaizo?
Yeah,
Wait.
That's what I did, was Kaizo Ironmon. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did one run of that, and, yeah, it was fun. I hadn't played since I played Blue as a kid.
Oh my gosh.
And I had not, actually, until last year, the only Pokemon generation I had ever played was 1. And so I recently played through all the older Pokemon gens, or all the way up to, I think, Y. Y was the last one that I played.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to get into. Here's the boss that you will never see in the randomizer, pretty much because he will cause crashing. I mean, you can put him in there. You just might crash your game a lot. This is a fan favorite. This is actually the boss that is the owner of Sif, the puppy. And this is him all corrupted. He was a knight. He was fighting against the Abyss, who we'll see the boss of the Abyss later on. Hello, are you going to back up?
I like the puppy better.
No, for sure. I mean, this is just, I was just kind of tying in the lore here.
Yeah.
Slap. Okay, here he goes. He's going to try power up. I'm not going to let him. There we go. The normal speedrun routes for Dark Souls typically, well, for Dark Souls 1, definitely, use an item called the Red Tearstone Ring, which requires you to be at 20% or less health, but you deal like 50% more damage. So, at least when I was grinding speedruns, you had to pretty much no-hit almost all the boss fights for the speedrun. But you kill the boss super fast, so once you're comfortable with that, then everything becomes a cinch.
It feels like you're really dealing a lot of damage since you changed your weapon.
A lot better, yeah. I'm gonna let him explode. He gets a buff here and deals more damage, but that's okay if we don't get hit. But yeah, with each hit now, we're doing so much more than we would have with the lightning spear. We probably would have been doing about 30 damage with that lightning spear, and now we deal 270. So it's a little bit of an upgrade.
Just a tiny bit.
A little bit. I'm taking a few extra risky shots here because I won't get one shot by his attacks. But otherwise, if you're trying to be really careful, you need to wait for very specific attacks like this one to get a free hit. This one's good too. There we go. And he's going to try and buff again. I'm not going to let him though. There we go. Yes. There we go. Almost. I could get greedy. Yeah, it wasn't worth it. He's not giving me a good attack. And just finish him. There we go. We hit each other, but he died, so.
Nice.
Worth it.
Hey, all you need is 1 health to survive.
It's true. It's true. More than 0. Well, I guess, yeah, probably if they round down, you probably want 1. 1's good. Chat wants me to put on Father's Mask. I should. Father's Mask is kind of a meme, but also, because of the way it looks, but it also increases how much equipment you can wear. But the mask is just, it's got a unique look to it, and it's a staple. It's a staple around the Souls community. I don't really need to be checking for items anymore. That's the really nice part about securing a good weapon and upgrades is like you could just rush through the game and kill everything. Oops, I'll watch out for this guy. This is the DLC where they add in a lot of enemies that can very quickly deal a lot of damage to you from range. And this is one particular tricky spot you have to run past. This guy right here. Oof. Well, luckily we have invulnerability on dodges, and so if your timing's good, you can consistently get through that stuff. Sure, what's this? Ugh, couldn't have done it. 0.2 seconds lost.
I wanted more pants.
Pants. See, the pants only show up when I'm like, okay, this is going to be the item. It's going to be great. Then the pants decide to show up. When the focus is there. Again, if you're watching this and you're like, wait a minute, these guys are not randomized. Correct. That is an unfortunate thing with the randomizer as it stands. Crashes the game a lot. Here we get to see our first mimic, which is not a chest, it's a mimic. But we kill it quickly, grab our key item that we need, the crest key, which will help us get access to the final boss of this. But yeah, because the DLC causes just... I was trying to work on it today to make it so the DLC wouldn't crash, trying to see what we could do by running in, then randomizing, but there was not really a combination we could get working for this. So we just are putting the DLC to normal and completing it that way. Oh yeah, this is the worst part of running through here, is there's multiple of these guys, and they all want to shoot you with these projectiles, and they deal a lot of damage. But we made it. We made it. I saw the comment about the 4 kings in the chat. We'll head there next.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yep. I got some fun little elevators in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This isn't the fun part. Oh. Okay. I kicked him into a whole nother area there. I kicked him into another world. This is original, correct? This is Prepare to Die Edition. The reason that I run Prepare to Die Edition is that I have tried quite a bit to get the randomizer working with the remastered version, and some people have had success or just never run into any problems. But whenever I randomize, about half of the time, enemy AI will break, even if I quit out of the game. Sometimes the AI breaks and you can quit out and load back in, and it's fine. But for some reason, I was just having an issue where the AI would break far too often, and it just wasn't an enjoyable experience, really. So I moved to Prepare to Die Edition, and it seems like there's just different kind of experiences depending on, I don't know, system setup or something.
Do you need to switch your rings?
I do not here, no. There is a fight where we do need to switch our rings, but it's kind of built into my memory to swap it as we enter the boss fight. I have forgotten, probably once I did 34 practice runs of the any percent at a minimum in the last month or two. Here's that boss. But I know
that boss.
This. Yeah, this guy, yeah. He's another boss where you kind of have to wait for him to do the right attacks, and then you can get your counter attacks in. And some attacks are not safe to go in and hit on, but he's got a lot of attacks that are.
How effective are bows in this game? Is it worth doing any kind of archery?
I've done bow-only runs. It's definitely not anywhere near as strong as a regular weapon, but a lot of times the AI is designed around you being completely melee, so sometimes it's easier because you can just stay away from all of their attacks and use bows. I will say, I don't think I would say the bows are viable for especially a casual Souls player, but they get a lot of damage. You can upgrade them just like weapons, and you can hold on your person in this game at least. You can have 999 arrows, never run out. They're very cheap. And that was actually one of the very first challenge runs that I did, was bow only. Oh. Come on, buddy. So this is the second phase, and he'll start to use this dark magic, which can be tricky to dodge, but also gives us some really good damage opportunities. But it's up to his AI. This one is not good, unfortunately. We have to stay away from that. If I'm farther range, he's more likely to do this. That's good. And even though it doesn't look like it, he creates this ring of darkness that spawns around him and then closes in. But there's a safe spot directly on top of him, so you can just walk into him and then you can attack while he's doing his whole animation.
Right in the crotch area again.
Right in the crotch, as usual.
I feel like if you're playing Souls for the first time, that based on what I've seen you play, that's a good place to attack.
It depends. I think if you're more familiar with the fight, the crotch is good because you know what's coming, you know how to dodge it. But the back or the butt of the enemy, I think, for a casual first-timer is much more of an easier spot because usually the boss has to turn around to face you and then he'll start doing something else. So it gives you more time to recover. But once you know those little sweet spots, yeah, the crotch is a very good spot to be. Oops. Whoa! All right, about 3 more hits here. One more if I'd go for the R2, because there's a light attack and a heavy attack. The only problem is this weapon has probably the worst heavy attack in the game. It's very slow. So I will patiently wait. All right, Manus down. One more boss in the DLC.
You made that look so easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that any of these bosses are easy. There's a lot of people who play a lot of Souls, and they might say, oh, Souls is easy. And of course, if you've grinded it a lot and mastered all the fights, sure, it might seem easy to you, but you still have to very much take your time, don't rush, don't get greedy. And after a lot of experience, they can become very consistent. And that's where I have the most fun, really, is after mastering the fights, just executing it and joining in this dance with the AI.
2 more pants, chat says.
2 more? Wait, did I get pants off the boss?
Yeah.
I missed it. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to do a pants count at the end of this and see how many pants we wind up with. Because I don't know. All right. Now, this final boss in the DLC, we saw it before, we fought it already. But in order to access it, we need to get some help. from a buddy of ours, but not yet. I think not yet, actually. I have to... Okay, yeah. So the path to this fight is you go into a large ravine and a dragon shows up and swoops in and breathes fire, but he's flying and you can't really reach him. And then we come back to our friend that we just saw there, and he will help shoot the dragon down with a giant great bow. And then you return to where the dragon was and you can fight him properly on the ground. So we need to run through that little kind of story bit real quick, and then we'll have access to the boss, and that will be all of the bosses in the DLC. And maybe he'll drop us more pants. And then outside of that, I think we have probably like 4 or 5 optional bosses that would be probably a piece of cake with this weapon. Not too long to get to. So I'm going to try and start making some determinations as we near that 3-hour timer. And see what all we need to do to finish up this run. Oh no, dog. Oh no. They're chasing too much. All right. I'm waiting to see the dragon. There's the dragon. Now we can warp out.
Nice.
And then we can talk to our friend. He'll shoot the dragon down and we fight him.
But yeah, to anyone watching, if you're enjoying yourself, I am here every other week displaying different randomizers from all different kinds of games, franchises, genres. So be sure to join us every other Wednesday here on GDQ Hotfix.
Heck yeah. And Resident Evil 1 remake next? Is that
Yeah, I think the remake, yeah.
Oh. Oops, I closed the door. Give our friend, his name's Goff up here. I was giving him some privacy closing that door. But no, I need to talk to him. There we go. You tell him about the dragon. You say yes, he'd like some help. Cutscene will play. It's a good cutscene, but gotta go fast. And he'll shoot down the dragon. Oops. Get back over to him. I'm sorry, chat. I know the cutscene. I know.
We're on a timer here, Chad. I'm sorry.
The spear didn't do us any favors. The lightning spear, so.
It was too pokey.
Too pokey. Too pokey. Not enough slam. I think what I'll do is I'll do my best to clean up everything except for the final boss and then see if we can squeeze in any extra time for mini bosses. And if not, we'll just do the final boss and call it a day. We told you to use the club. No! Oh, there's a dog. So now we face Calamite in his actual arena. I believe we fought him in Seath's arena prior. And I can show off a little... Well, I can display a little... Not a song, but kind of just a rhythmed... saying to help you if you ever have troubles cutting the tail to Calamite. This has kind of become
the music in this game, though. Like,
oh yeah, the music.
Oh my gosh,
epic.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
So he's going to do the swoop. You
Woo.
dives to the left. Oh. Well, it was kind of different location.
That's my first time.
And get him.
First time seeing this one here.
All right, let's see. Swoop. I wonder if his cut tail actually works in the randomizer. Oh, wait, it's not randomized. I lied.
Yeah, this one's not randomized, Lobos.
Well, sometimes you get the same boss in the same location, and it's like, what? So I'm trying to get him to do this swoop at me.
Oh my, I get lost in this music. This music's amazing.
It really is.
Don't worry, chat. Lobos has got this. I got full confidence, all right?
I'm going to start fighting him normally.
Yeah.
if he jumps away and he does a swoop, ears. Sorry.
Oh, okay. This is not ear friendly.
That's not a pleasant sound.
So yeah, chat. If that did not sound great to you, feel free to just turn the sound volume down until we're done with this boss. I didn't know because I never played this before.
Yeah, sorry. I realized as he was doing it.
It is not ear safe, so you are warned. At least until this boss is done.
Yeah. I believe the item that he does drop from his tail would be randomized. But he's not giving us the swoop. This is the biggest attack opening for him, though, so that's nice. Let's see. Swoop at me, please.
Lobos is working on it, y'all. What did Lobos say? It's all about patience, right?
Here we go. Dodge to the left, dodge to the right. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. I swear it works 99% of the time, but sometimes he just doesn't want to tail slam. We're basically putting ourselves under his tail to get him to slam it down, and then you can access. He's going to do the ears.
All right, ears. I'm even turning mine off. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What were they thinking with that? Come on
They were thinking they wanted to have a terrifying attack that you would never want to experience in real life, or I guess fake life. There we go. Dodge to the right, then you walk away, he slams the tail, and then you hit the tail. And I don't know if it's going to cut. I mean, I think it should cut. I don't see why it wouldn't. He's doing it again. Dodge to the left, dodge to the right. See, he's going too far is what's happening.
Yeah, I
don't
noticed
know
that.
Oh, well.
Covering a lot of area. Yeah, if you just give us a warning before he does that, that would be great. Because even I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna take my sound off too when it does that.
Oh. Oh, it's not a good roll. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Come here. Okay, gotta heal up.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know if you were gonna make it, Lobos. I got nervous there.
Spacing.
You did it. Get him.
We did it. So this is the normal Calamite. When you get Calamite in the randomizer, he does a lot less. Like, I think because... Oh, this might be the tail. Let's see. There we go. Slam the tail. Give me that tail. There we go.
Yeah!
And, oh, not quite yet.
Almost.
One more little tap. There we go. All right.
Just a little tap. There you go.
DLC complete.
That was really impressive. What a fight. Wow.
Yeah.
That looked really hard.
We got him. All right. So now I'm going to get a little bit more. Now I'm trying to think about the situation that we have in one of the bosses, which was essentially the big furry Manus guy that we fought in the Abyss, who by himself is not a problem, but he is surrounded by skeletons that will forever reincarnate unless I bring a divine weapon, and then it will permanently kill the skeletons. I think I did. The Crescent Axe.
Don't forget to re-randomize, by the way. Just letting you know.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, chat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, chat. I would have been like, wow, this is very similar to what it normally is. Okay, I do this. I do...
Your message was sent, chat. Don't worry.
Oops. Where's the other one? Here we go. GDQ RNG 2024. Randomize. Okay. And we go. Apply the pants seed. Right.
Yeah, the pants seed.
The items were still randomized, as you saw. We didn't get pants from his tail. That would have been an interesting reward.
Yeah.
Oh, do I need to restream to you again?
Yeah. Actually, that'd be good.
Okay.
That way I'm not like 30 seconds behind.
No, you good. Let's see here. And boom. Okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha. There we go. Again, just some little jankiness of the randomizer, but does re-randomizing respawn bosses? No. No. The game remembers what you've killed, and we didn't re-randomize. Well, technically we did. We applied it again, but it's the same seed. We're using the same seed, so it doesn't really matter for this because it would matter for anything that we randomized, saw, and then had to see again later, like that Manus fight in Nito's arena. So it should be the same fight down there, but it doesn't respawn any bosses. All it does is tell the game what spawns where. The game remembers what you've killed and gotten through.
Was that a
boar.
Dinosaur demon?
It was an armored boar.
Oh, it looked like a dinosaur, like a triceratops or something. I'm like, what was that?
Oh boy. So this is one of the problematic rooms in the run because it is normally full of ghosts, which isn't so bad because you can move through them. But in this particular spot, there's just a cluster of about 8 anything in the game. However, blocking the door was an enemy I can roll through, so that was very helpful.
All right, so we have around 5-ish minutes or so left on maybe 1 or 2 more bosses. We definitely want to end on a boss fight. So.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna... The boss we're coming up to here is one of the... It's the fabled 4 kings that we've talked about.
Ooh, okay.
Up to this point, so... Hui! We will do the 4 kings, and then...
What did you just kill? What was that?
It's a man filled with poison. He's kind of like he's got a big tumor full of poison, and he spews poison on you.
There's terrifying.
There's a lot of unpleasant enemies in these games, but I got grabbed by the butcher.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna try and just recover from this. Yep. Get out, heal. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I want to remind you all, too, we do have a show right after this, too, after this is over, Time Capsule, so be sure to stay tuned. We have tons of wonderful programming here on GDQ Hotfix. Yeah.
Do you know what's happening on that show?
Let me double check.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to take the chance here. Actually, I'm going to save here.
There we go. There it is. I just don't want to say the wrong thing. That's all.
No, for sure. Okay, there we go. Next.
All right, so we have Time Capsule, and it looks like we have Half-Life 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So there's 2 games coming up still. So again, lots of great programming tonight on GDQ Hotfix.
Very good. I think for my 2 bosses, I'll do this 4 Kings boss, and then there is actually a glitch to kind of warp into the final boss's area, and we could kill the final boss like that.
That'd be cool.
It is a little tricky to pull off. It's like a single frame input, and you have to Alt F4 the game, but I hit it pretty regularly. I believe in myself, I think. I think that's a little counter to... Statement counters itself, but that's all right. Thanks, all right, Guardian Kings with Pinwheel Health Pool. Let's see.
Oh, while you are running right now, because just to make sure we maximize time, do you have any shout-outs, Lobos?
Shout-outs?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shout-outs to you, Skybills, for meeting you at Kaizo and being welcoming enough to bring me onto your show and show off some Dark Souls. And Richard for helping produce the show. This has been largely just kind of a solo venture besides my community. Thanks to my community for enjoying these runs. I mean, they love this stuff because, oh gosh, because this is why. Because there's demon boars get stuck on bridges and you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody for watching here. It's been a lot of fun, and Dark Souls has just been, like I said, kind of home for me for a decade at this point, and it's always fun to play it in new and interesting ways. Let's see if I can I'm going to need to kill this boar. I'm sorry. And the butcher is behind me, causing issues. Come on. Good. Boar is dead. Now, did I put on that ring from before? I did. I'm just tanking all this damage. And that's okay, because I can. All right, we're going to fall down this hole. I know it looks bad. But because we have the special ring from Sif, we can survive in the abyss.
Wait, the dog helped us survive?
The dog. That's why we had to fight the dog. And guess who it is? It's the final boss of the DLC again.
Oh, of course.
All right. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Now, a kind of interesting thing about this fight is you fight 4 separate entities, but then they have a combined health bar. And that's the health bar that we're actually dealing damage to as far as beating the boss goes. So I can kill this guy on his own, but it won't necessarily be enough to kill the whole boss fight. So something else will spawn in a second here, and then we'll have to deal with 2 enemies at once. I wonder if it'll be another one of him. That seems... Oh, it's... Okay, there he is. But now we can damage either of them to hit the main boss's health bar. This is a little fun. Okay, this has become a bullet dodge game. Hello.
I see.
That's fine. Okay. Should only need 2 more hits or so. But I have to pay attention very closely to what they're both doing. Otherwise, that happens.
Ah.
Oh, no. You obscured my view. That's a shame. Since we are on such a tight schedule, we already saw the bosses there. It would be the same thing. Let me go. Oh, that's kind of funny that we're in the abyss, but a different abyss.
Yeah.
Abyss in the past. I'll go do that kill and skip, and we'll go fight the final boss and see what it was.
That sounds good.
Yeah. This is, I wanted to set this up to make sure that this was like boss rush, but again, if we get bad luck, we might not have to be able to do all the bosses. But this way we do get to show off some other things like this kill and skip. Let's see, hopefully I get it first try. I'm gonna do a test here. So if you look at the Dark Souls logo, I'm gonna use this as timing. And basically as it flares up the second time, that's 1, 2, right as it starts to flare up the second time is what I use as my timing for an Alt F4. Roughly, that's just an absolute guess. You kind of have to muscle memory timing it. Let's see, if it worked properly, then I'm going to be just placed into the final area of the game. Let's see. Okay, I didn't get it first try. I'll give it like... Well, we'll get it, don't worry. Pause. Manus final boss? Yeah, we'll see what that final boss ends up being. Oh, okay, it's going. It wasn't showing up, and I wasn't sure. I had never seen that before. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have to say, never seen that before. Come on. Okay, I hit it pretty much right as it lit up, so it's gotta be right timing. Oh, there we go. Again, this is a 1/30th of a second input window to hit Alt F4 and close the game down, which not the most convenient for performing a glitch, but it does at least start up pretty quickly. There we go. Okay, so now we're in the final area, and you can do this at any point after you get to basically the midpoint in the game. It's called the kill and skip, and there is an any % kill and skip speedrun route. I haven't looked at the time on this in a long time, but you beat the game in like easily half the time that it takes to do a normal any % run. The only problem with this is if I die, we have to do the skip again, but don't worry, I got this. We got this.
I believe in you.
We have all the pants, and I'm even going to put on some pants. There we go. Leggings of Thorns. These are the leggings that if you roll with them, they'll deal some damage. to the enemies. Hello. Oh. Yeah, if I fall off a bridge, that would be bad, but we're fine. Actually, something is... Oh, hold on. Something is... wait. Well, okay, I'll just have to deal with it. The game is inputting an attack if I open or close a menu. That's fine, though. It's just a result of, I think, the full screening and the restarting of the game. More shenanigans. Oh. Only pants here. Who's it going to be? It's our friend, Large Ornstein. Yet again, this is, I think, the third one in the run. But he's going to die much faster this time if I can hit the attack button. Uh-oh. I can't hit the attack button. Okay,
wait,
here we go.
what?
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got some sort of input bug, but hold. I got this, okay? Of course, this is the perfect way to end a run. I'm going to put it in my left hand. Oh, he's kicking? He's kicking randomly? Okay, I'm going to put it in my left hand, and now I'm going to... There we go. I can attack like that. All right. This has been an interesting run, and we're going to make it work. I just need to heal up to full or die. Do we need to go right now? Because we can just go right now if we're too far.
Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay. All right. That's a weird glitch that, we responded to on the fly. Oops, that was too late on that one, unfortunately. So we're going to have to retry that one. So what was happening is whenever I opened the menu or closed a menu, it would automatically do an attack. And I think something happened, like the game thought that I was always holding down the attack button, which means if I pressed it, it would not accept an attack input. However, that was only on my... One second. On my right-handed regular attack. So I swapped it to the left hand, and I was able to do left-handed attacks. You did say this is where all the cursed runs come.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's been something. That happens without randomizer too, really? Let's see. Should have just used the menu button for attacking. Yeah. The kiln skip here, homeward warp. So you need, in order to perform this skip, you have to have your checkpoint, your respawn location set to the kiln here. You use any sort of, like, I'm traveling back to the kiln, and then you Alt F4. Basically, the frame as you begin to load in. This messes up the game and sets your checkpoint where you spawn at to a default, and the default happens to be within the final area of the game. So this was found by accident, I remember, a very long time ago on Xbox 360. Let me see here. And was believed not to be possible on PC until it was discovered that it is possible. You used to have to, like, jump off the edge, and then you would open, you would hit the Xbox button, and then you would force close the game, and when you came back in, you were in the kiln. And, oh gosh, okay. I should probably set a limit on how many more tries.
Yeah, I want to make sure the next show is not too late.
For sure. I don't want to waste anybody's time. And let's see. How about 2 more tries? If this was it, if this wasn't it, we'll give 1 more, and if not, we'll just call it there. I don't want to take too much time, and if anything, I blame the lightning spear for our rushed ending here. Again, showing off the nature of randomizers. We did do one last try. That might be good. We'll see. There's 2 frames at 60 FPS, 1 frame 30 FPS. I wish you Alt F4 to do that. Blame the weapon, not the user. Hey, I made do with that lightning spear. We had it so easy on Xbox 360. Okay, I didn't nail it, but I did pull it off that one time and showed you how it is supposed to be done. So go and try it yourself and see how it is. Sky, thank you so much for having me for this absolutely chaotic run. I hope you enjoyed Dark Souls.
I sure did. And again, I want to thank you for being on here, Levis. We may have to have you on again to see if you can get back at the seed.
Some vengeance. Yeah. No, yeah. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, that's all I got to say. We did our shout outs. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want to let y'all know this isn't the end of our GDQ broadcast. As a reminder, to join the official GDQ Discord and add the hotfix role where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for more information. And again, if you've missed out on any of our shows or events, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays. And again, not the end of our broadcast. Be sure to stay tuned for Time Capsule coming up.